And we're going live in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and we're live! Hello all, welcome back to the INVICTUS stream. My name as always is Mr. Harlan Guthrie, and I am here with the fantastic Miss Jo Fallak.
Whoa.
I don't have any of my sound effects queued up, so let's just do it.
Okay.
The incomparable, oh there you go, Mr. Justin Thomas James. And for the first time joining us since his long absence, Mr. Chris Viseau.
Hello.
Oh no. And we are here on this Wednesday night for you with a brand new game called Coders. That's right. There we go. I got my sound effects queued up. Ladies and gentlemen.
After me.
After you. I had to wait till we were done with the Chris introduction, then we could actually do the sound effects like we wanted to.
This is why I'm getting away, people.
This is the personal attack that you knew that I was sending your way. This is the message. Do not return. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Wednesday night. Welcome to the INVICTUS stream. I am so happy to be here with my friends for you guys, the community, and I hope you're excited as we are for what's in store tonight. Tonight we have a crazy, new, wild, zany, what other words can I use, Chris? Wacky. Justin?
Obscene.
Obscene?
I don't know.
Justin?
Obscene.
A little bit of a...
Yakko dot.
A Yakko, Wacko, and Dot. That's right. We're in for the game of all games with a brand new system called Coders. It's a little homebrew that Justin has made. And he's going to tell us all about that very shortly. But first, as you know, it is an 18-plus show. If you are not comfortable with the no-no words that we use and graphic scenes of violence that are going to be depicted tonight, then you don't have to watch. You can go ahead, you can close the video, you can unsubscribe to all of us, you can go and hide under a blanket beneath your parents' bed. That's okay. But you make sure to like the video, because that's what makes Chris come back. Isn't that right?
There wasn't enough. That's the reason.
There wasn't enough likes, and he came back because he needed more likes.
Oh, I thought we reached the quota there for a second.
No.
We haven't yet.
Actually, now
Well,
that...
you get a certain amount. Yeah, it's like Pokeroo.
It is.
Somehow.
It's like, yeah, there's only one at a time, and then when one person comes out. But now that I think about it, you know how many subscribers we have on YouTube? 3,989. We are so close to 4,000 subscribers. We are so close that it's actually rounded up in a short form. It says 4K, and I was like, oh shit, are we there yet? So go back to when I said you can unsubscribe if you don't like 18 plus, and I'm taking that back. Please subscribe. Tell your friends to subscribe. It brings Chris back to us as previously established, and it also just makes us feel real good and loved. Makes us feel like Wednesday nights are always a pleasure to do for you guys, and they are anyway, but you know how it is. Also, make sure you join the Facebook group and like the Facebook page. The Facebook page, you just give a little thumbs up on Facebook, and you get to be updated with all of our important information things, because there's so many of them. But the Facebook group is really where you want to be, because the Facebook group is the place where you can talk to other people who like watching the stream and love RPGs, love board games. You can find out information about volunteering for maybe some local things if you're in the Toronto area. Kate is part of the Toronto Area Gamers. She's like the head honcho there, and she's constantly looking for people in the area that want to help out. So you can get involved in your community in a way. You can also trade ideas and stories and all this kind of fantastic stuff. And when you're part of the Facebook group, you also have a chance to win the most valuable post. The most valuable post is the post of the week that we distinguish. It's the post that we thought was the most inspirational or funny or entertaining. And this week, we saw the International Women's Day, which was on the 8th. That was this week, right? Yeah, because it's the 14th now. 7 days, 7 plus 1, so carry the 1. So that was this week, and one of the awesome posts that was by a member of the community asked for the most badass females in like cinema and TV, and it had a slew of responses, all in GIF format or picture format. Very few just text answers. The majority of them were awesome GIFs, which was a lot of fun. So a huge congratulations and a thank you to this week's winner, Miss Megan Dawn, who has the very important distinction and honor of being one of the very few members who has watched all of our shit. There is only, to my understanding, there are only 3 people in the community that I've ever watched all of what we have. Megan,
Have you done that, Harlan?
no, and I was in them. I didn't even remember, and I was probably in all of them. I was talking about this today, actually, that I've done again, we've all been in very similar numbers, but like pretty much since we started, there's at least 150 games under my belt in RPGs. That is a fucking lot of games.
That is a lot of RPGs.
At 3 hours apiece, too.
How much is 10,000 hours? How many games would we have to play to get to 10,000 hours?
I think that's a song in Rent, isn't it?
It is.
How many RPGs for 10,000 hours?
3,333 games.
That's it.
Correct.
333 games.
That's right. Let's give a round of applause for that.
Okay.
Wow.
That's if you played
What are
a
you,
game
some sort of fucking teacher? Huh?
If you played a game every week, that's 64 years.
Wow.
64 years.
That's right.
Yes.
And what are we, 20?
We're almost there. So close.
26,
We'll be
25
masters
now?
soon.
Is that your age?
Hey, I'm working towards
Oh,
it.
yeah, you're 24. Right.
So yeah. Anyway, Megan Dawn, congratulations, you won an MVP. I don't know how I got distracted there, but anyway, yeah. So and a huge welcome back to Chris. Let's be honest, I miss this fucking guy.
Oh, yeah.
He's so cute.
Mhm.
Look at him. Look at this
So
beard
much.
he's grown. Look at this
I want a
salmon-colored
pink shirt
shirt.
just for the occasion.
I know.
That's
and
what
you-
he's been doing this whole time.
And you
What
put
has
your-
Chris
and-
been up to?
growing a beard.
Not sleeping too much. I can tell you that.
You know.
You know what I did today?
What?
I'm bragging. 18 chin-ups without coming off the bar.
That's very braggy. Yeah. No.
I know.
He's lying.
No, I did it.
Liar. No,
I
one
did it.
believes you.
There's no proof.
You have to show us.
Show us your muscle.
Okay, I was like this, and then I was up. And I was down.
Oh,
Whoa.
Picture that 18 times.
Okay, I buy it.
push-up.
That's fair. That's
I showed you. Yeah.
I buy it. Well done. So that's what Chris has done. It took him what 6 months to do 18 pull-ups. That's
And
not,
I'm there now, so
that's
I'm
good.
back.
That's like half a week.
Well,
One.
okay. Really, I had the baby, new job.
Yeah.
I'm at Queen's University taking a course too,
Yeah.
and we're in the process of moving. So there's some stuff going on.
And you look good for having
Oh.
a baby. I got to say that weight
Oh.
came right off. It's
Thank
good.
you.
It's good.
I did put on a lot of weight.
You did
I
not.
did. I swear, I put on nearly
Hey, you look
25 pounds in
did
pregnancy
not.
weight.
of mass of
I'm
pure
just
bulk.
I'm sympathetic. I'm a sympathetic guy.
You're just a fucking cutie. I missed you so much. Come kiss me. That's right. Mwah. Ladies and gentlemen, Chris is back. That's what we were just talking about for like 10 minutes. So tonight, Coders. Justin, do you want to tell us a bit about it, or you want to tell us in-game how you want to run this, baby?
You know what? I think I just want to jump into it and explain as we go.
I think that's the fucking best idea I've ever had. And it was mine. It was my idea. I took it. Okay?
Yeah, you texted me like 10 times.
That was
Justin,
my idea.
skipping. We're skipping all the
We're skipping the intro, Justin. It was my idea. So yeah, that's it. 18 plus MVP. I introduced you guys. I think that's it, right? That's what we do. Good night. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night.
Without further ado, let's jump into these credits, jump into this game, and have a real good time. It's going to be a lot of fun. Ladies and gentlemen, Coders.
The year is 2462. Nearly all of Earth's resources have been scrounged and hoarded by megacorporations that have taken over the world. Years of ancient wars and nuclear conflict have left every continent dry and barren. Civilization is entirely contained in isolated megacities known as blocks, Massive towers with reinforced walls to protect against the intense weather and radiation all around. Money is no longer used in this post-apocalyptic society. The only valid currency is water. There are 10 megacorporation blocks currently standing in North America, all of them competing for the clear water reserves that were established deep under the Earth's crust many years ago. The only way to access these reserves and pull from their contents is through a digital world conceived centuries ago by a man named Gregory Musk. This world is known as the Wellspring. In it, citizens of these 10 corporation blocks create avatars and can compete in challenges put forth by the fantasy worlds set in it, or challenge others like them to collect rations of fresh water from them and for them and their families. The more difficult the challenge, the greater the amount of water received. The mega corporations also compete, but on a much higher level, able to take full control of all the water if the right cards are played. Whomever controls the wellspring controls the water. Whomever controls the water controls who lives and who dies. Everything is dark around you, and your heart beats in your chest as you feel something around you. And then a light appears, illuminating the darkness, and it begins moving towards you. And all of a sudden, a number of voices rise up in harmony. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear you guys. Happy birthday to you.
And many more!
The lights flash on, and you're surrounded by everyone you know. Many of the neighbors and residents of floor 137 of the mega corporation known as Wolfram Omega Incorporated. The three of you are very unique in that you share all the same birthday. You are each turning 18 today. And you're not related. You've been friends your entire life, but you have the exact same birthday, which always struck you as either rather odd or very lucky. Now you sit with your friends, you have family there, you have people you love and know, and they've brought you a beautiful cake, which is very rare down on the 137th floor. And there are 3 candles. One gray, one blue, no, not blue. There's no blue candle. There's a green one, and then there's a red one. And you are each encouraged to blow them out together.
Luke sort of nervously waits for the other two to blow.
Let's blow out on 3. On 3, not after 3.
On three?
Yeah, she needs to blow out soon, or else she's going to pass out. Ready? 1, 2. On 3, not 4.
Oh, okay.
1. Damn it!
Sorry.
April, I had a wish. I wanted to, and I looked down and my candle's been blown out by April.
You can still make your wish.
April, didn't this happen last year?
Yeah, I just get really excited when it comes to blowing out candles. I'm sorry.
So do we. And it'd be nice to do it once, you know.
Do we have? Can we relight? Oh, forget it.
No. We gotta save the fuel in the lighter. Go on. Here, let me cut it up. And Frank, the guy down the hall, everybody knows Frank, handy with a hammer and a screwdriver, really, really good guy. He pulls the cake over to himself and he begins cutting down. Now, while he's cutting, why don't you guys explain who you are? Who are we looking at, April, with you?
April Chan is a newly 18-year-old Asian woman. She is fairly slender. She has a cropped bob of black hair. She's wearing a bright red t-shirt. She looks really excited to be here with her best friends on her birthday. She scans the crowd for her grandmama, who's standing in the back, and the little woman who's all wrinkly and very small, kind of like, woo, lifts a little
cheers you on
celebration.
Yeah, and she's sitting in a really dilapidated old chair. The felt covering has been worn off years and years and years ago, and Frank has had to reupholster the cushion many, many times. Sitting next to April is...
The name is Hammond Butler. Hammond Butler is constantly adjusting his shirt. He looks a little self-conscious, and he pinches his ear every so often, just a nervous twitch he has. But in reality, he's vain, and he thinks the glow in his ears make him look a little bit more handsome. So he's constantly pinching his cheeks and his ears to bring out the color. And when April was waving to the grandmother, he reaches over and grabs her candle and licks the bottom, the icing off, and does the same for the other two. And then feels guilty about it because he's trying to keep a good physique and the extra calories is not necessary.
All right. And there's someone in the crowd, just as April has her grandmother, there's someone in the crowd who you really care about, someone other than these two best friends of yours.
Yeah, in the crowd, Hammond looks over and sees his beautiful younger sister named Layla. And Layla is always trying to build up Hammond, but he kind of looks shamefully as he's licking the icing off, looks over at her, and she's just smiling, just happy to be there with her brother.
And she gives you two big thumbs up and a big toothy grin, and goes to say something, but then Frank sticks a piece of cake right in front of you and says, "There you go, buddy. You got all the licking you got there."
Thanks, Frank.
And next is...
Luke. And Luke is a timid, very thin, pasty boy with big, thick glasses, which I couldn't find, with a stutter because he's always constantly doubting what he wants to say, and he's overthinking, and he's very nervous around most people, always anxious and sort of tugging at his sleeve, sort of always eyeing the exit, looking to sort of back away. But not around Hammond and April. He's always felt very connected to them and very comfortable around them. And while he still stutters and they tease him about it occasionally, it's a loving tease. And he knows that between the three of them, he can share most anything. And the person he sees in the crowd that he connects with is actually Frank. Luke grew up an orphan. His family was killed in a fight early, not too long ago, actually, like 3 years ago, when he was 15. So he was never really that close with them anyway because his mother was sort of a junkie. And Frank sort of took him under his wing, and he ends up sleeping on a small cot in the boiler room of their floor with Frank.
And one thing that Frank always, that you really loved about Frank was that he's got this video game console, and it is hooked up to the wellspring, but you can just play video games on it. Very, very basic games. But you always loved that growing up with Frank. And it's been many years that you guys have had it, and April and Hammond have also been over to play on this. And what really interested the three of you, though, wasn't the game itself. It was how the game worked. And through this little gaming console, you were able to learn the ins and outs of coding. And what seemed to be a very simple game, you realized was very, very complex at first. This was when you guys were back 12 or 13. But over the years, you've started to recognize the patterns. And just a few weeks ago, actually it was only a few days ago, that you realized that you were able to do something. Do you want to explain what you figured out there, Luke?
it was late at night, and I was on the console, the tablet behind the cot that I sleep on in Frank's office. He has his own apartment, but he's given me sort of the boiler room to be myself and play games at night. And that's where the three of us hang out at times. And Luke was on the cot playing with the tablet, and he realized that this trickle of water that they're given as a ration, there's a loophole in the system that he had by accessing it through Frank's control using the handyman sort of network, where he can actually get sort of a back road into the larger stream, into the higher up, the access that the people on the above floors have. And it was around midnight when Luke messaged April and Hammond, and we have a sort of a secret chat that sort of rings a very specific tone on everybody's tablet. And I called them to where I sleep in the handyman's quarters, which we call the dam, to sort of tell them this.
Yes. And as you're thinking of this and you're remembering back to the night that the secret was formed in the dam, Frank puts a glass of water in front of you. And the glass is only about an inch full. And it's more water than you've seen all at once in a long time. And he says, "Oh, no. It's your birthday. All three of you each get a shot of water."
Frank, no. This is too
Yes. I worked extra in the mines this week. We've got I made lots of rations this week, so I want you three to have this with the cake.
And I sort of look
Frank?
hesitantly towards April and Hammond to see what they do.
Great.
I tie my crackled lips, and I look at the water, and I hesitate for a moment, seeing Luke and knowing how special this is, but I can't stop myself, and I grab the water. Frank, thanks so much, and I drink it.
That's the least I can do for you kids. You're 18 now. You're going to be working for floor 137 soon, going into the game, and earning us the water that we need. So hopefully this will get you off to a good start, right, everyone? And everyone cheers and claps. And turning 18 is a momentous occasion because at 18 you are an adult, and so your responsibilities change, and you are, even though you guys have had access to the wellspring through the game console at Frank's, now you will be able to access it from your tablet and to do what they call mining, working 8 hours a day, just playing little strange games that somehow help the upper floors and earn the corporation water.
And as Luke sort of eyes his glass of water, again, because the three of us are so close together, I sort of look to April and I look to her grandmama who's in the crowd, because we've talked she's mentioned before that she doesn't have enough ration to keep her up, and I know how much April cares about her.
As you look over towards April, you realize that she's left like a centimeter or two in the bottom of her glass, and she's kind of biting her lip and looking over the heads in the crowd. She's pretty tall for an 18-year-old. She hit a growth spurt last year. And she can see her grandmama, who's curled up in her worn chair, and she's sort of clasping this glass to her chest and looking over the crowd. And
Luke sort of sees, and he takes a drink, but only drinks about half, and he pours the rest into April's glass and says, "Grandmama can have some of mine too."
Oh. No, that's not fair.
No. When my mom and dad passed before I moved in with Frank, Grandmama let me stay on her couch as well. Don't just let her have it. And I sort of look towards Hammond to see how he's reacted, knowing that Grandmama was so important to us.
Having finished the water, he was already feeling pretty self-conscious, having everybody clap in front of him. So he's fidgeting with the button, doing it up and undoing it, and looking over to his sister, going, kind of with sorry in his eyes.
And his sister comes over as April and Luke are talking about Grandmama. And your sister comes over, Hammond, and says, "How you doing, champ?"
I'm fine, Layla. Do you think I look better with the top button done up, or should I keep it undone, or is that
Okay, do it up. Do it up.
right like this?
Yep, do it like that.
It's
Okay, now take it off. No, undo it. Undo it. Undo it.
Better?
Do you have another shirt?
No.
Yeah, and like your shirt is pretty much worn. Everybody pretty much wears the same clothes down here. Very few of you have multiple changes. And she says, "Well, I guess you're stuck with it. How are you feeling? 18, you get to work now. I'm so jealous."
I think I'll do a good job. I mean, I'm pretty excited, Layla. I think this could be the difference for us. I think if I really work hard and with April and Luke, I think we'll be okay.
Well, I just can't wait. Those
Do
games
you want my
look so
cake?
fun.
Here. And I hand her my piece of cake.
Thank you. Oh, and she gets really excited and she just mouths the whole thing down. And as she's doing that, the two of you, April, Luke, you have a glass that is almost back to a quarter cup filled with water that you're ready to give to Grandmama.
Yeah, so I guess the two of us go through the crowd. Are people kind of dispersing, or are they hanging around for the birthday party?
It's your standard family birthday party, almost has a vibe of a like a Sunday barbecue in the neighborhood.
Sure.
Everybody's just in their corners talking, and every now and then someone shouts across the room.
And as April moves towards Grandma, Luke just hangs back and lets her, he's uncomfortable with any sort of conversation really at all, and he just sort of finds a corner and sits down and reads.
Grandmama Winnie, this is for you.
Oh, dearie! Oh, all this?
Yeah, Luke wanted to give you some too, so just as a thank you. And I know that your birthday is coming up too, and you had that cough earlier, and so we just sort of, anyway.
Well, kiss my timber and call me Flo. This is a great gift.
Okay. Don't. Easy.
Oh, dearie, the coughs have been getting worse. I think there's a leak or something in my room. There's got to be something getting in from outside because all this dust.
I'll ask Frank if he can't look into it, I guess. Okay. Take it easy.
Thank you for the water, dearie. April, dear.
You're welcome.
I love you, April.
We always do that.
Well, we always do, and that's why I love you. You're just two peas in a pod. We are.
We are. She's sitting on the armchair, arm.
Oh, and I have something for you.
What's that?
And she puts the glass shakily down on a end table, and she reaches down into a purse that's been sewn together with what look to be plastic bags, and she reaches in and she pulls out it looks like a plastic bag, but when she holds it up, you can see that these are plastic bags that have been woven to create a little beanie. And she said, "I've been working on this all month for you. And I know it's not real wool, but I thought it'd look cute. I've been saving up pink bags for all year, 2, maybe 3.
It looks awesome. Thank you. Wow. Let me see.
You can put it on. Ah!
I like it. How do I look?
You look beautiful, darling. You know, I used to have a pink beanie like that myself. It wasn't made of bags, of course, but I think I like this better on you.
Thanks, Grandmama Winnie.
And with that, Grandmama has a bit more of a coughing fit, and a couple more people come over and see to her. And meanwhile, your sister, Hammond, finishes the cake, and she wipes her mouth and says, "So, are you going to tell me yet, or what?"
Tell you what,
I know something's up. With you, that guy, with Luke, and April. Something's going on. You keep going into well, Frank's place every night.
well, we've been doing that forever, since we were kids.
Yeah, I know, but something's different. You're quieter. You eat faster. I don't know.
You're right. You know, Layla, you know me so well, and I'm going to tell you as soon as I can. Luke wants us to not share too much yet. And when he says it's okay, I'll let you know. Okay.
Okay.
I promise. I mean, you're the first person I'll tell.
I know. I don't know. There's no real kids my age. You guys are so lucky that you're all the same age. Everyone, the closest person to my age is 12.
Well, Layla, it might seem like a big deal now, but when I'm 40, and it'll seem closer by then. It won't be a big deal later on. It might seem like a big deal now, but you just wait a few more years, and all of a sudden you'll have a whole bunch of people that seem like they're your age.
Okay. Well, I love you, brother.
I love you too.
And she comes in, she gives you a big hug, and she says, "I'm going home. Bye, everyone."
Bye,
Everyone says goodbye, and
And when she walked away, she smiled back at him and showed her white, perfect teeth. And I tongued my teeth self-consciously, wondering what happened with our genetics.
Perfect. So the night continues on, and you enjoy the rest of your cake. And is there anything else you guys wanted to talk about?
Luke, when he finds a quiet corner, he pulls out a small book that he keeps with him, and he sort of codes in pen and paper, like on the fly. Like Luke has an eidetic memory for certain things, so when he looks at the code, he's scribbled it all out, and over time he can sort of perfect it. So as even though he's not near a computer, he's reworking the code to make it swifter and getting more excited, and the two of them sort of know that when Luke's sort of onto a thread of something about speeding up the network or getting them in there quicker, he sort of has this sort of like excited that he's the biggest one, that while he tells everyone not to say anything about the dam, he's probably the biggest one to tip off Hammond's sister, Layla, because he's usually the one that just can't keep it in about his excitement. But he's just working on his notebook and sort of glancing up every once in a while.
So I walk over, seeing him doing this, and I also walk by April, and I say, "April, sorry about the water. I should have thought."
No, of course not. No, don't.
Anyways, happy birthday, guys. What are you doing, Luke?
Hammond, April.
You got an idea?
I was looking at what the dam is, and I think we can make it even quicker tonight.
And sometimes when Luke is explaining things, it's easier just to look at his coding than wait for his his stutter seems to get in the way.
And ouch! And he turns the book towards you. Do you see if we go around, if we work this way? I don't really know.
Did you just come up with this now, Luke?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about it while we were cutting the cake, and
April, look at this.
That's beautiful, Luke.
If this is right, and it looks right to me, we should be able to get through a lot sooner than we thought. We could probably do it.
Well, not only that, we can access the very top levels. And Luke sort of looks around hesitantly. The top levels of this mega block. I think it's even possible that we would be able to get up.
We can't talk about this here.
Right. Oh yeah. And again, sort of Luke sits back and tucks his diary away and says, "Listen, tonight I want to go in. I want to go in all the way. I know we've only stayed sort of in the upper levels, but I want to try. I want to try to get as far in as we can.
Are we ready?
We're 18 now. Let's do it.
All right. Cool.
So time seems to go at a complete crawl the rest of the night. You're waiting for your family to go to bed, and while you are enjoying people's company, you've got this excitement burning inside you just to get to the dam and to try out this new bit of code. And if you're able to, it'll be the first time that you'll be able to break away from all of the restrictions that have been kept on you here on floor 137 regarding the wellspring. Eventually, midnight rolls around. Frank snores loudly in his cot as April and Hammond sneak their way in, Luke ushering them through the piles of empty bean cans, and loose screws.
Basically, the dam exists between two large boilers for this floor, and it's a very thin, narrow passageway, and you can feel, I mean, I go in relatively easy because Luke is so slender, as is April. Hammond, you sort of get your stomach.
Yeah, and I've burnt myself several times on the hot water tanks and things that are in there, and it's embarrassing, but you'll never hear me complain about it because of the fact that I don't want people to notice.
And you reach a cement wall, and if you follow that along, there's sort of these plyboards that are just lifted over this small little opening, and behind there it's this, what was once sort of just a decrepit space between two apartments. We've sort of converted into a little hangout. There's like an old mattress there. There's a few lamps that are screwed into outlets, and as we walk in and turn them on, it's sort of bathed in this beautiful orange warm light, and it already feels so inviting. And this is where we spend most of our downtime before turning 18. It's our hangout, and where at least Luke feels most at home and most comfortable.
And the console that the game is set up on, you have it rigged so that you have a couple wires coming out of it. You've done this tonight, and you're able to now connect their two tablets into the console, and all three of you can play all at the same time rather than just watching one person on the console.
So three-player games, guys. This is part of what I think I figured out today. That not only can we get through, but all three of us can get through it at the same time.
Awesome, Luke. Amazing.
That's not what's truly amazing, though, about the code that Luke came up with.
It's pretty amazing, but not as amazing as
whatever we're about to find out.
This other thing.
All of a sudden, this story has a narrator. So you log in to your tablets the way that you normally do, and everything is two-dimensional pixel games, games like Frogger and Minesweeper and strange arbitrary games that somehow, by completing them, actually earns the challenger a little bit of the trickle that comes down from the upper floors. But as you log in, the screen goes into those regular pixelated game, and then it begins to glitch and shift and warp. And Luke, this isn't what it was doing before.
Something's wrong here. What? And he sort of starts panicking and freaking out a little bit.
I'm sorry. Did you already hack this console? Is this not what's happening?
And it's starting to glitch a little bit more, and then all of a sudden, the screen goes black.
What?
And
did you break it?
No, nothing. I wrote.
Hammond.
I grabbed his notebook out of his pocket and looked through his notes. What happened?
April stands up and she starts looking at the console itself, like it's not overheating. What did you do?
And I hand April the small set of I hand April the small set of like screwdrivers that she always works with, because she's sort of the mechanically inclined, and I just kind of hand them, not knowing what to do with them. Like, did it fry?
And April, you looking into the console, you're quickly able to see that there is a small fuse that is not quite connected.
Oh, shit. Hold on. Just a second. This can be fixed. And she takes a teeny little screwdriver and puts the fuse, makes the connection to the fuse go back together.
And you watch the two boys watch as April works behind the console, and suddenly you hear a little digital boop, and the screen fills with color. Color that you haven't seen in the tablet ever before. This is the full world of the Wellspring on your tablet. You're like a floating. You have a floating view of what looks to be an oasis. Palm trees rise in the sky. A dog barks and runs across a beautiful pond. And you didn't even know your tablets were capable of these type of graphics. But here you are, staring at a world that you've never seen before.
That's amazing. This shouldn't even be possible. Somehow, they must use some sort of cloud computing network where all the graphics are being processed and streamed to the devices. This is amazing. Look, and I
Luke,
turn it towards Hammond.
We have access. How is this? What did you do? Did you mean to do this? Is this?
No.
Okay, let's think about this logically. Can they tell that we're online?
I don't know. I figured we would be able to access the games. I didn't think the games in question would be completely different and colorful. I kind of just thought they'd be Minesweeper Plus.
This is amazing. Are we going to get in trouble?
And the question lingers in the air as the three of you look at each other. And at this point, it's getting quite late. And you're feeling that whatever discovery you've made today is very, very exciting, but something that's going to have to be explored further and on a different night. So eventually you decide to part, and you say goodnight and head back to each of your respective apartments on floor 137. Meanwhile, a man in a white suit sits surrounded by computers. He types away on his keyboard, and he stares at one screen. Thank you. Turns to another screen and looks at that one for a while. And on each of his screens, he sees various rooms of the blocks. And then he also sees various worlds in the Wellspring, a desert oasis, a spaceship, a house from the 1960s, ancient history.
Egyptian pyramids.
Egyptian
Pirate
pyramids.
ships.
What else? What else does he see?
Pirate ships.
Shut him out.
Underwater worlds. Atlantis.
Underwater worlds. Atlantis.
Dinosaurs.
Oh my
Harry
god.
Potter's cupboard.
Harry Potter's.
The inside of a cupboard. Harry Potter's understairs cupboard.
Yeah.
A gingerbread house with a witch.
A Toys R Us filled with Lego.
Glaciers.
As he's
Pocketlands. Rooms of it.
Talking
All of
dogs.
these words.
Talking dogs.
All right.
there's a split second where a desert oasis goes by, and he just catches it out of the corner of his eye, but he stops. And he rolls back and he turns his chair towards the screen, and he hits back a few times, shifting through a few of the different worlds until he sees the oasis again. There's something there. And his eyes go wide as he picks up a bright red telephone and says, "Director, we have a problem." Everything is dark. And you feel, as you come to consciousness, you realize that you're not lying on your own bed. You're lying on some cot. You open your eyes, and you are in a white room with a white floor, 2 doors that look like they slide open, and you're completely alone. Hammond, what do you do?
I do a body check real quick. What am I wearing? Do I feel injured or anything? Froggy.
You don't feel injured, though there is a slight pain on the side of your neck. And you come to realizing that you're wearing a white jumpsuit.
I stand up from the bed, and as I stand up, is it completely dark in here? We can see the door, so it can't be completely dark. So as I stand up, I look down at my feet. Are they the same distance away?
They are.
As I expect.
They are. You feel just like you.
Okay, my hands, they all look the same. So then I look in the room, and I look under the cot real quick. Anything there?
Nothing under the cot, just the bed. The bed and the 2 doors.
So then I call out, "Hello?"
Hello, Hammond Butlew. A voice comes out through a speaker that you can see just a number of dots in the ceiling. Congratulations, you have been selected by the corporation to enter the wellspring.
What do you mean selected?
You have been selected to enter the wellspring. And a door opens. And
does this mean
behind
anything to me, Justin? Do I know has this happened before to other people?
No, you've never heard of this. What it means to you, I mean, do you have any questions specifically? It is a little confusing right now.
Okay, so a voice, I mean, I think it's supposed to be confusing, jarring. So the wellspring, that seems like a good thing to me, because that's what I want to do.
Of course.
Is this how... I don't have any questions, really, I guess. The wellspring is where you go to play these games and to try to collect water for your survival and those that you love.
That's exactly it. And as the door opens, you see what looks to be a helmet sitting on a table next to a chair. And you recognize it. You've heard of it. You've heard Frank talking about these legendary things that they use on the upper floors. This is a full immersion EXP helmet. So while you guys get into the game through the tablets, and you guys are just using your tablet to play mini games like Frogger and stuff, the EXP helmet, the full immersion EXP helmet, you wear on your head, your body goes unconscious, and you are fully in the game.
Holy shit! I walk over and I pick one up. I pick it up. Holy shit! And I put it on right away.
Please take a seat before activating the EXP helmet.
What? Yeah. Oh. And I sit down, and I imagine there's a chair.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure. I sit down and I grab the... Oh, I can't believe this. I can't wait to tell Luke and April. And I put it back on again.
And when you put it on, you start to feel a little woozy as the sensors and neural nodes on top of it begin to fire up, and you hear a slight whir in the back, and everything goes black, but only for a second. When you open your eyes, you're standing in a completely white area. There don't seem to be any walls, just a floor, and you don't see anything other than April and Luke. So
Luke,
the 3 of you are together again.
You guys are here. And I walk over to them. Can you believe this?
This is after he's put on the helmet?
Yes, so the 3 of you, the 2 of you also put on your helmets.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to speed that up.
Yeah.
So you're all wearing your helmets now. You've all put on this full immersion, and you've gone into what you're assuming is the wellspring. And you all stand before each other.
I can't believe that we're here together. My stutter, it's gone. Is that you, Hammond? April?
This is incredible.
My God.
And before you really have time to talk, a screen appears in front of you and says, "Create your character." And now we're going to get into the character creation portion of the game. You'll all pull up your character.
Done.
Your character
Luke has
sheets.
already selected the voice modulation program, and he's selected English. And being a very
we go.
shy man, for some reason, whenever he's playing games, he feels confident. And in this world, wearing this headset, he feels completely different. He feels like he doesn't need to stutter.
In the world of Wellspring, when you are fully immersed, you can create a character and be whoever you want. Your avatar is you. You feel what your avatar feels, though pain is reduced. You hear what your avatar hears. You can taste everything that your avatar eats.
Wow.
So, let's make some characters. So this world is very open, very loose. You can be anything that you want. But why don't we start with the primary attributes, what kind of character you want to play?
All right, I have it pulled up here. I'll play a dexterous character.
So you can go up to a maximum of 10,
Okay.
and you have 40 points that you can split between these attributes and also your skills. We'll be doing skills afterwards. So you're going to want to save probably about between 20 and 10 points for your
Right,
skills.
so I'll do 10 for dexterity, because it's my main. For body, that's what?
For body, you could do, if that's like strength and, here, I'll read it out. Body attribute represents strength, endurance, and physical resilience.
Perfect. I'll say 5 to that. Intelligence, because Luke seems to be a heady boy. Let's lower dexterity a bit to 8. Intelligence, let's go 8. And then willpower, let's say 4. You said there's a total of 40 that we have?
Yes, total of 40. So we'll do skills in a little bit. April and I want to call you
Hammond.
Howard. Hammond.
I like how you called me
So give me
Butler.
15.
It was Butler. My R's not working in the chat, so when I wrote it, that's how
Butler.
So I give myself 9 in Dex, a 10 in Bod, Intelligence 5, and Will 5, because although I'm very self-conscious in the real world, my avatar is going to be a physical beast.
Excellent.
Nice.
April.
I think April wants to go a little bit strong and otherwise kind of well-rounded. So she's going to go 7 Dex, 8 Bod, 5 Intelligence, 6 Will.
Okay, so that's pretty well rounded. It should be automatically updating for you in the secondary attributes. So your react, I'll read those out. Your react is going to be, basically how quickly you can adjust to something. Determines how quickly your character responds to stressful situations. So stuff like initiative is governed by react. MP and hit points, that's pretty straightforward. You guys know what those are.
Magic points and hit points.
Yep.
Perfect.
Now, has everybody got their primary attributes?
Yes.
Now we're going to go into skills, and you can actually click on the box for skills.
Oh.
Anybody who's watching at home, the Fast RPG, you can find it. It's at fastrpg.net. They've got a quick play guide online, and they've got a character sheet that you can download, and it's all form fillable like this. Pretty handy, I must say. So now add up your primary attributes, and then what the difference is between that and 40 is how much you have left to govern your skills.
So I have 15 left.
You have 15 left, okay?
Yeah.
Skills can go up to a level of 5.
Perfect.
Hammond, did you have a question?
So when you say level 5, it costs 5 points to be level 5?
Yes.
Okay, so if I have 11 points, I could have 2 skills level 5 and 1 skill level 1, right?
Right, exactly.
Okay, or whatever.
And if you choose something like languages, you pick a specialization, so like it might be French or Spanish or whatever like that.
Interesting.
And
Is there a common language in this world that we live in the mega world?
English is obviously one that a lot of people use,
Mm-hmm.
but there's anything from Draconic to
Game languages.
game languages, physics, the language of physics.
Oh, the language of love.
The
Oh,
language
the
of
love
love.
language. Science. Computer.
I think-
Is there anything else we're going to need these points for, or that's it?
That is it.
Do you guys want to run down the gamut just to, I mean, I can see Harlan's, but like, Chris, what are you choosing?
Again, I'm just going to go with that same point perspective that my character is self-conscious physically, so he's going to be over the top, athletic and charismatic, and that type of physical prowess and handsomeness in this world.
Cool. I think April really likes the idea of herself as kind of like someone who'd be good at like shooting and piloting. Those are her favorite kinds of games. So she's gonna dump some into like space vehicle. What else am I gonna choose? Probably hand-to-hand combat. Probably mental combat. That sounds cool.
Yeah, what the fuck is mental? That's
Well,
what.
I'll tell you because I'm very good at it.
And that's sort of the way Luke's going as well. He always prefers the sort of deductive games and the mystery games. So he's going science, detective, ranged weapons, languages, and knowledge, sort of to fulfill his character.
Perfect.
And actually, on that note, I'm going to lower my body by 2 and up my intelligence by 2. There.
Okay.
Perfection.
6.
So there are also powers that you can pick. But we're going to do that separately. We're going to do that in character notes.
Okay.
And the way I'm going to treat powers is each of you has a specialty. As April, Luke, and Hammond, you're each good at coding and working with computer technology, but you're good in different ways. And now this is going to be very, very open-ended, and we'll see how it goes. But if you could think of a superpower, basically something that you can do as a coder in the game, that will be your power. So you might be able to summon weapons.
No clip.
Or
Yeah, I was like shading.
I'm going to do no clipping.
no clipping?
Yeah.
Like no, what is that?
That's like
Instead
when
of talking about like a video game when like the screen clips because you're
when you no clip
stuff.
through walls, it means you can basically walk through walls.
Walk through walls. Okay, that's
a cool way.
perfect.
That's awesome.
So that's your skill as a coder. You're able to break through things. That's why you're able to break through the dam.
I know the
You-
Doom
God
codes.
mode?
IDDQD.
God mode?
God mode is IDDQD. I know it on Doom
I
so well.
just said it.
I know. I'm sorry. I
said dibs.
don't
Hammond-
want it. I literally did the code for God mode as you said.
So with powers, can we just give ourselves level 5, or no? It has to be points still.
Well, with powers, yes, give yourself a level. Actually, give yourself a level 3 in the power.
Okay.
Well, yeah, we'll see how this works.
Now the-
You do have to code still, so it is going to be like a challenge if you're in a sticky situation. You've got to code to get through a wall.
and you said we're just
then-
going to put the powers under character notes.
Yeah, because the
It's a
sheet will
drop-down.
only let you choose their own drop-down stuff.
Perfect. So no clipping. Perfect. That's so weird. I
Oh,
can do
man.
infinite ammos. IDSPISPOPD. These are all the real cheat codes that I remember as a kid punching it 1,000 times to Doom.
Rosebud, Mother
Yeah,
Load.
Mother load.
Yeah.
Power overwhelming.
It's a good day to die.
Yeah.
That's a good thing to do.
Glittering prizes. Remember Warcraft?
All that
Fuck
glitters
yeah.
is gold or something.
Glittering prizes.
So
Or
what about
more
you?
already.
What about April? What
Man,
you
I
thought
don't
about a
know.
power? Ask the community. Maybe the community will come up with
Oh,
something.
Yeah,
Different.
someone give April a power. Right now I'm skillful in air vehicle, land vehicle, space vehicle, mental combat, hand-to-hand, gadgeteering, and ranged weapons.
Save states. I wonder what that is.
That's where you like save. You know, like I'm gonna save and then I'm gonna go do something crazy and then I reload.
That's kind of fun.
I don't know. I'm just kidding. That'd be cool if that was that.
It'd be like
Are
a
you looking
reroll
at-
thing.
Are you looking at different sheets?
The codes that I always remember were God mode, infinite ammo.
I think infinite ammo would be really good.
Right?
Is that too OP though, Justin?
I have
No,
no
that's not
clipping.
too OP.
That's so OP.
At the very fine buttons.
I want to use edit physics engine. That sounds cool.
That's
But I want it to be like no, like I can lift or jump really high or something like that. You know what I mean? Like you can make it so like gravity's really low for a short period of time.
change gravity.
That sounds.
Is that
great.
too? Do we need to be more specific though? Because that's pretty
Nope,
open-ended.
nope, that's perfect. That's like,
I've seen
Yeah,
games
it
with
makes
those cheat
sense.
codes.
yeah.
I think the thing is, if a
can
game
see us.
has that cheat code, to me that
God.
makes sense to it.
See, I just said big head mode, and that was the literal
yeah.
first cheat that came to my head when I was thinking. I was like, I just want to play GoldenEye with giant heads or paintball mode.
Slappers only.
Golden guns only.
Yeah.
Like all our weapons are gold.
And the throwing knives only. That was funny too.
So
We just need to.
wanna
We just
have
need
a
to
game
play.
genie.
jetpacks.
Yeah.
Can I just have the game genie?
Let's just do next November 4th. We're just gonna have 4 split screen
God.
fucking GoldenEye.
I'm kind of excited for the next Extra Life.
It's gonna be a blast. This will be a
Yeah.
blast. This time Justin gets to be there, even better.
Yay!
Are you? Is that for real? Now we're not even in the game anymore. We're just
Yeah, sorry.
talking
So
about
I got
our
no
plan.
clipping. What did you go with?
I went with edit physics engine.
And Joe, what did you go? Or April, what did you go with?
I'm gonna go with.
Infinite ammo.
Yeah, I guess so.
Or all weapons, because like all weapons you'd also unlock. Like if there's like 8 weapons in a game, a cheat code would give you all weapons.
Yeah, I don't know, Justin. What do you think?
I would go all weapons over no ammo.
Great. Well, I wouldn't want no ammo because that's a
Infinite
shitty
ammo.
cheat.
No, yeah, over. Oh, that's what you want. Why did you want no ammo?
No weapons? Worst cheat ever.
Which means you get the
Yeah.
BFG, you get the rocket launcher, you get the plasma rifle. That's pretty cool.
It is cool. And if you get a new gun in game, then maybe you get to cycle through that gun.
Fuck yeah. You actually have to cycle
Alright.
through them. That's the best part.
That's the thing. You have to cycle through them on
That's
screen.
good.
We're gonna have a
Handgun,
ticker.
machine gun, shotgun.
Grenades for everything.
You gotta reload by shooting off screen.
Oh yeah.
All right. Next, you have to, if everybody's done their powers,
Yes.
it's time to describe your characters. So you can just do that in the character notes too. What does your character look like? I believe. Go ahead.
Yeah, Hammond, go ahead.
Hammond is the epitome of handsome. Handsome Hammond. That's what you would call me from now on. His character is tall and muscular. He is lean, but not too muscular. You know, the type of guy you picture me with. You know.
Yeah, you just
Okay.
you perfection.
No, picture me with. I could never. You know.
You with your
You're
shirt
hitting-
off is what I'm picturing.
Oh, perfect. Let's see here. He is also, yeah, let's just say it's like super athletic.
Super athletic,
Yeah,
like a superhero face.
yeah, like a oddly square jaw with.
What does he
broad
wear?
shoulders. He wears actually a jeans, kind of like a Luke Cage outfit, jeans and a black shirt.
Perfect. Okay, great. And your character name.
Come back to me.
All right. And Joe,
Me next. Me next.
what are you wearing?
What am I wearing? What am I? April is a centaur.
Nice.
Can I go back?
I was just
didn't
about to
know
say,
that.
she just
It's too
knocked
late.
it out of the park. Damn.
Yeah, man.
I didn't think about that.
She's silver. She has a gold mane of hair and a gold tail. She's got what else does she have? She's got like a good great rack.
Mm.
So does my character.
And her face looks kind of alarmingly like her real life face. It's so discordant to see like the back half of a horse attached to her. But so she's got like the human hands to be able to shoot machine guns with, but she also has all of the horse appendages to make
It's-
horse with.
It's like you got lazy when it came to like the face part of the character creation.
Just it randomly
Whatever, doesn't
generate.
matter.
Random
Just-
generate. Random generate.
Yeah, it's like she like pressed the random generation until she got to like 18-year-old Asian girl with dark hair, and she's like close enough. But she's got like gold hair and
Are you still wearing your grandmama's beanie?
Oh yeah.
Nice.
It's not the same beanie, but it's like similar enough.
You can purchase with in-shop points.
Yeah, totally. I'm like, no.
Oh, yeah.
So April is a war centaur, and her name is Magestro.
She's not a generator right now. My name's gonna be Worf.
Oh,
Like,
cool.
yeah, and then I want to have. I didn't know we could do this, so I want angel wings.
Why not?
Okay.
It's like, yeah.
Yeah, and a scar like very reminiscent of Witcher 3.
Oh,
Richard.
cool.
Excellent. Okay.
Nice.
Angel wings, star, and jeans.
Worf.
Okay.
And Worf after the Klingon.
Luke.
Luke is an android. He has taken the form of a robot, sort of like C-3PO meets Lost in Space, but with much more human features. And he wears a hooded cowl and sort of a long cape, but he's entirely shiny and silver and has red eyes, but not sinister red. And sort of a curiosity where he sort of tilts his head, but he has the confidence and the British accent that he's never had in real life. So he sort of asks things like this, like, how can we solve this in the best way possible? And blah, 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 blah. He is, again, utilizing the mind he had in real life, he now feels very at home in this android's body, in which is called LV-428, is his character name in this world. And he specializes in science and detective and language and knowledges and ranged weapons, which makes a lot of sense for an android.
Very intelligent, like the encyclopedia character.
Basically, yeah. Think Data, but with like shiny and like a cowl.
Awesome. Perfect. And that is that. A button hovers at the bottom right of the screen that says complete character. If you complete your character now, you will not be able to edit it in the future unless you spend 2 gallons of water on a reskin.
No. I'm
April's
ready.
like, done. I'm finished. This is my whole body forever.
Okay.
This is my whole body forever.
I like maxed out like mass, like bigger. Too big.
Just to the point where you
all
look
right.
ridiculous. It's like no neck.
No, I would not do.
No, I'm just kidding.
It's like The Sims where you can just make just hideous faces. It's
Yeah.
just like where their teeth go through their mouths. Okay, so you each hit complete. And you re-enter the completely stark white room, the one with no walls, that is. And you see your 2 friends supposedly back in front of you. And you see them like you've never seen them before.
We look
Like
awesome.
supposedly friends, like we're not quite sure if we're friends, or I'm not sure if it's them.
Supposedly, they like you assume they were your friends before, but now there's a centaur and an android in front of you.
My God.
So
Are
we're
you
better versions of ourselves.
April? Is that you?
What's up?
My God. And Hammond, is that you?
Better believe it.
Hammond, you look incredible.
Thank you.
All right.
And,
wow. This is going to be
of course,
distracting.
Very equine.
Yeah, I thought if anyone like needs to get somewhere really fast, they can just jump on and then I'll shoot my way. It's going to be
Check
great.
these out, and I spin around and show my wings and splay them out.
Holy shit.
Yeah, didn't know. Yeah, pretty sweet, aren't they?
I think
You hear-
we need to keep what's important here. I think ultimately we have a chance here. Remember to earn water for the entire floor.
Absolutely. Where do we go next? I don't see any like glowing arrows on the floor, or and she like paws a hoof impatiently.
You, as you say that, you begin to hear a very faint sound of footsteps, fancy shoes on a hard floor, and you look all around and you can't really place where the sound is coming from until eventually your eyes fall on a man wearing a white suit. He walks towards you, and he's getting closer and closer and closer, his footsteps echoing off of no walls that you can see.
Luke, was that suit an option? Damn it.
And eventually he gets close enough to you that you can make out a tall man with, broad features and a handsome face and a white beard and a bald head. And he nods to you all and says, "Welcome to the Wellspring. My name is the Director. You can call me the Director. Congratulations on being selected to be our corporate representatives. Do you have any questions?"
Which corporation are we working for here?
Why, Wolfram Omega Incorporated, Luke. Or shall I say, what's your name?
LV-428.
LV-428.
Yeah.
It has come to our attention that the three of you possess interesting abilities. Would anyone care to tell me what you were up to last night?
And
Sleeping.
an expressionless robot face glances towards the other two and then back towards him.
Selected. Do we have a choice in this?
Yes, of course you do. There is always a choice. Now, we have a task for you. We know that you are quite capable of things that have never been done before. The three of you were able to break your way through the trickle and find your way into the main core of Wellspring. No one has done this before. How long have you been coding?
Well, not too long, but it was something that we rather not share how we came about it. And he sort of gives a curt nod to the other two. Sort of a...
Luke's
That's
being
fine.
modest. He's been coding like 18 of his 18 years, basically.
Well, we don't pay too much attention to the people below the 200th floor, but we would have to be pretty blind to see that the three of you have potential. And today we're going to put that potential to the test. And he turns around and he pulls out an old-fashioned remote control, and he clicks it, and a screen appears out of nowhere. And it shows what looks to be a facility. And he says, "Do any of you know what a tide gate is?" I suppose you don't. Never been in the Wellspring before until last night, correct?
Correct.
Well, a tide gate is essentially what allows our corporation to get water instead of another corporation. If you have access to the tide gate, then you have access to the water, and your corporation is it has more water to delegate to give to the citizens and ration out. The more of these we have in our control, the better. Does everyone follow so far?
Yes.
Up until now, to get a tide gate under your control, you'd have to enter the game, and you'd have to defeat whoever else was in control of it, a PvP, as they would call it back in the day. And then, once you defeat them, you would transfer over the access to the tide gate to your own corporation. Now, because of you, we realize that perhaps it is possible to, instead of making this a temporary thing, to make this a permanent thing. The three of you can code the game and to change the reality of the game world. If you can do that to the tide gates, that means that we will receive the water. And unless another corporation has coders like you, I don't think they'll be able to repeat or undo your actions. So essentially, we would have water for the rest of eternity by having access to the tide gates.
All due respect, Mr. Director, how can we assure that winning the supply of water will end up in trickle down. Our floors are at the bottom. You know this. We've never been given priority before.
That is very true, April, which is why I would like to propose that if you complete this task, if you take over the Tide Gate, which is currently owned by Dynatech, we will move you and your families up to above the 200th floor. In fact, we'll even move you up above the 300th floor.
April's just shocked.
Only if you get this Tide Gate back to us.
But what of the other people on the floor? What of them? And I turn towards April and him, and I say, we can't forget the people on the floor. There's many people there that the trickle is not enough. Just because we'll be in better position doesn't mean they would be. Would securing the Tide Gate mean that everyone on the lower floors would have water as well?
If you secure the Tide Gate and hack into it to make sure that all of the water from that Tide Gate from then on cannot be captured by any of the other corporations, then the entire corporation of Wolfram Omega will benefit, even those on the lower floors. The trickle will just be a little bit bigger.
And if
There'll be no risk of slow months, no risk of a drought, no risk of Wolfram Omega losing all holds on water.
And if
Well,
we
what
just-
about the other corporations? Clearly, they don't want us to do this. I mean, what risk are we putting ourselves in when we agree to this? Are they going to have their own agents, their own people in the game trying to stop us?
Yes, they will. But it is my understanding that you all possess abilities that will put you in a much better position to defeat them than any of the agents that we'd be able to send their way.
We are excellent.
Indeed. This is war, children.
And why is it that your company is more, thoughtful towards the people who matter, our family and friends? Why is it that they're going to benefit more from your company rather than some other company? Like you said, we have skills. Who's to say that we don't work for someone else?
Because you live in our block. You can try to go out into the radiation to live with another block, but as long as you live within our walls, you belong to us.
Has anybody actually been outside, Justin?
You've heard of people trying to escape. None of them have ever come back, obviously, which would be a good escape, but you've heard that none of them made it.
Is there rumor that we're just kind of, miners working for these corporations, and that it's all just, facade maybe or something? Like, is there like legends of outside safe places, havens away from these Bitcoin miners? Is what I feel like.
Bitcoin mining. Well, I mean, essentially, you haven't heard any legends of any safe havens. Your understanding is that it is indeed a very dangerous place out there with radiation. You wouldn't be able to survive by going outside. It's uncertain as to whether it is. I mean, it's a conspiracy theory, maybe.
And what if we decline? What if we say no?
Why would you do that?
Well, perhaps I'm.
The risk is too great.
What
Well,
risk?
If there are equal parties fighting over the water, who's to say that we should interject? And LV-428 says it sort of hesitantly and nervous, and despite his metallic exterior, he's still very nervous as Luke.
You're saying that you would not attempt, with your skills, you would not attempt to put your family and those that you love in a better living situation?
I just want to know what would happen if we said no. If we declined.
And reluctantly, he holds up the remote control, and another screen flicks on, and you each turn around and look to a second screen. And you see 3 people asleep on cots, just like the ones that you woke up on. One of them is a larger man, and you recognize him as Frank. One of them is a withered old woman, or your grandmama, and one of them is a little sister, Alyssa? Layla. They all lie there, and rubbing his forehead, he turns back to you and says, I didn't want it to come to this, but if you do not comply with our demands, and do not complete this, then we will put your family to sleep.
What? That's awful.
Our experience
Go ahead.
Our experiences in other games, Justin, has it been that if we got hurt or really lost a game, were we injured physically in any way?
Well, you've definitely heard of people losing like the small games that were in the mines, like Frogger and Minesweeper and stuff like that. You've never actually met people who have been in the game itself, who have been to the Wellspring. But the way you've heard the system works is that after 48 hours, you are revived again. So you do die temporarily, but your body comes back.
The avatar or
the avatar dies.
Okay.
Well, I guess then we don't really have a choice. Sign me up.
Yeah.
And he turns
Fine.
to April.
Magestro.
Magestro.
LV428.
Worf.
Very well.
She rears back on her hind legs. It's like,
Then your integration begins now. Boing.
I'm going to stop there for the mid-game post, I'm assuming. Ladies and gentlemen, that's right. This is the time where we stop the action and we jump to you, the community, and ask you a series of 15 questions. No, just one question, and you answer it. And if you get it right, and we pick
Survey time.
Survey says, yeah, show us number blah blah. Then you get experience points. So welcome. Hope everyone's enjoying the game so far. Justin, great game so far. It's a lot of fun.
yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Really good.
What's the question of the game, Justin?
Oh my god. Question of the game.
The corporation. Name the other corporation.
Yeah, what is the other corporation controlling the Tide Gate?
That's a good one. Okay, so right below the coders in Discord will be the mid-game post slot. Actually, let me just replace this channel because it's got last week in it.
A lot of people misspelling the word pregnant.
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 Okay, what is another? Because you said a few, didn't you? Megacorp.
Yes. The other corporation, the one holding the Tide Gate that you guys are being
So
sent
remember,
to.
yeah, if you know the answer, write down as many as you know, and then we'll roll a D, whatever that is, and whoever gets it, gets it. Hope everyone's enjoying the game so far.
Yeah.
I just posted in the Discord, Justin, you're doing an awesome job.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
This is a good
Thank
game.
It's funny, I just saw David Johns' post. And he's asking, he sometimes wonders if I am a closet dictator.
What?
And I think maybe I am.
He's director.
No, dictator, because all of the games, this has something.
You know what? That's
There's
true.
like a through line.
It's very similar to a
You
lot of
do
the
have
games that
a
are
very
running.
similar thread. You always have a host or a dictator or you have a person of power that tells the players what they can and can't do.
Yep, that's the role I like to play with you
Apparently.
guys.
It's role play.
Yeah, it is
Weird.
funny because there's always a host.
Get you in the bedroom.
Garland Huxley.
Yeah. And what was it? Crucible?
The
There was another
Crucible?
host. Yeah.
The Crucible has
Running-
it. This
yeah.
has it.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of what other series you did. Dragon Age. Garland Huxley in Dragon Age?
Right, yes, he did make an appearance, didn't he?
Probably not. I don't really
I am
remember.
an overlord.
I'm the overlord of the king of this castle, Garland Huxley. Still answers coming through. Chris, how you doing, buddy? How you holding up with role playing? You haven't done
Good.
it in a while.
I miss playing. I was like Jones in the play.
Yeah, you were. Is it like getting
man.
back into? Is it like getting back into the swing of things? Or you're like, wait a minute.
Yeah, it's like getting back into the saddle. A saddle on a centaur.
Yeah.
Back in
Which
the
we're gonna
saddle
figure out
again.
how we can get one of those in game, and then I'll be
figure
a
it out.
flying man on a centaur.
David Johns posted an amazing picture of an Asian lady carrying a machine gun who
I
is the
saw that.
centaur, and it's just incredible.
That's the second
Yeah.
Asian woman centaur. I was thinking, how many
What?
fan? Well, like, because someone posted 2 of them. It's like,
Yeah.
how much? You know, you might have gone into a very specific fetish here.
Well, you're welcome.
Like some
There's a
dude's
whole
just,
Reddit page, I'm sure.
yeah, some dude's just in his basement with Asian centaur pornography or Asian centaur art, and he's just like, I need to make my new Asian centaur.
It's like a really specific Venn diagram of fetishes.
It is.
And then they have like an offset, like the really weird guys are into like the Shetland pony centaurs.
Yeah, yeah, you got like this.
The
and then-
Clydesdale.
and the little-
Like, oh, look at the hairy legs.
Yeah.
It's exciting. It's kind of nice. Oh, my apologies. A huge shout out to Brianna. Brianna is away from her hubby Michael tonight, and Michael
Aw.
is missing you. I should do this like a radio. How's that?
This next
We also
song
want to
is for
mention
you.
exactly to Brianna. Michael misses you. Your hubby wants to see you again. Kisses and hugs from your lovey dove Michael. And this one
So
goes out to you.
This next encounter goes out to you.
I
It's
get
like,
no kick. So I sing that song too many times. It's like my go-to song, and I don't know it that well. That's the problem. But yeah, so shout out to Brianna, and Michael's missing you, and just so you know, Michael, Brianna's missing you too.
can we do LARPing?
Yeah,
Can like
Yeah.
if like we should hold like an Invictus LARPing thing up here.
yeah.
Justin, when are you coming back next?
We should totally do that.
Summer!
So we'll do a summer LARP session. We'll film it.
I might have enough land. We could do it in the forest of LARP.
The forest
The
of
forest.
what?
LARP.
The forest of.
Well, you don't have an R on your keyboard right now.
All right.
LARP.
The forest of Lap.
It's a LARPing forest.
The forest of LARP.
It's the Boston. It's the lap. You fucking come up and go to the lap. You want to do the fucking lap? You can do it. Come on.
In our
There's,
individual chat, Chris was writing about Worf, and he's like, it's Wolf.
From Star Trek.
Star Trek.
I don't know why your R is not working.
I don't know either.
Should have worked it into your
Fucking
character
great.
somehow.
I must write a lot with R and just wore it out.
We're playing PGs tonight from Chris's keyboard's perspective. Because you can't write R. Never mind.
Mid-game
I call it
post.
RPG.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so we got Dynatech, 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 Dynatech. So that's 4. So 1d4. We got
Sweet.
either John, Michael, David, or Dustin. Let's.
Isn't Dynatech a real company?
I don't know. And the winner
like a drug
is
company?
Mr. David Johns. Also winning for posting the centaur porn, which was easy for you. You had a folder and it was set up, I'm sure.
He's the guy in his basement who's like, oh, this is my wheelhouse.
This is my moment to shine. Okay, regular horse porn. No, wait, that's bad.
Wow.
I
Wow.
forgot. That's
Good
I
to get
forgot.
the horse half and not the lady half.
I know that's bad. Apparently, well, I don't know. That's that is bad, but
Guys,
it's
we're
not.
learning things. We're learning things.
Whatever the case is, well done, David. And I'm sorry if that it was an insult because I didn't mean to. But well done. And you win.
Oof.
All right. So, without further ado, back to game, Justin, or do you need another minute to compose
To write the second half of the
to
game.
write the second half of the game? This is as far as I got.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, without further ado, back to Coders.
The spawn point is in a well-lit room, funnily enough. It never really is in a well-lit room. It's always You open your eyes and everything's dark, but no, it's well lit. And you are surrounded by wood paneled walls, and there's pictures of people all over the walls, and a description of, oh, the door's still open, description of things that someone has done in the past, and lots of sciencey stuff.
And,
What kind of sciencey stuff?
Yeah, LV428 walks over and looks at the sciencey stuff.
LV428, you see the picture of a man who is in a wheelchair. He wears glasses, and his face looks different. It doesn't look like anyone you've ever seen. And at the very top, it says Stephen Hawking Memorial Foundation. And it's a museum.
Can I roll a knowledge to see if I know who Stephen Hawking is?
Sure.
So how does this work? I just roll a what?
So
These
your
sixes?
knowledge, yeah. So your knowledge is based on your intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
So you have how much intelligence?
10.
Okay. And do you have any skills pertaining to knowledge, or science, or anything?
I have
like that?
general knowledge.
General knowledge. Okay, I'll let that slide. So you're
I also
trying
have
to
science
beat
too, so I don't know.
But yeah.
whichever one's better. Go
Yeah.
with whichever
Well, science
one's
is a
better.
level 5.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, then let's do that.
Okay.
So you have a 6 by default, and you are going to roll 5d6s, and you're going to add that to your intelligence score to get your final score. So go ahead and roll 5d6s.
Okay. So 5d6s, I got 8, 9, 10, so 12.
12. All right. Wait, so what are the individual numbers?
Oh, sorry. 3, 1, 5, 1, 2.
3, 1, 5, 1, 2. Okay, so ones count for no points. A 3, a 5, and a 2 count for 1 point.
Hmm.
And a 6 counts for 2. But you didn't get any 6s.
So I have 3 points.
So you've got 3 extra points. So add that to your 6, which is your wait, what was your intelligence?
10.
10 intelligence.
So
So
I
you've
have
got
13.
13 points.
Nice.
And I would have set the difficulty for, I'll say, a 7.
Okay.
And you know about Stephen Hawking because your 13 is higher than a 7.
Right.
So what do you know about Stephen Hawking?
Everything. I know he died today.
Yes.
And LV428 sort of points and says, "This is Stephen Hawking. He was an English theoretical physicist, a cosmologist, an author, a director of research for theoretical cosmology, and he died almost 400-ish years ago. I don't remember what year we're in, but
Something like that.
and
426.
that's it. He's just a picture on the
462.
wall. You said."
Well, there's a picture on the wall, and there's a map, and there's also some strange devices that are in like display cases that are supposed to have some relation to his theories. The other thing that you know is that, oh my God, I'm blanking so much. Oh, that Gregory Musk, the guy who created the entire region of water under the earth and the game that you're in right now, he was a huge fan of Stephen Hawking, and it makes sense to you that he would have this memorial in the game itself.
Magestro canters over to the display, and she's like, where's the game? Like, we're used to seeing, just like I just want to play Minesweeper. Where do we do the game? She's like looking at the map. What do I see when I look at the map?
You just see Worf spinning around and just looking at his feet.
Guys, the controls are so fucking hard.
So you see a map, and it shows the entire layer of the layout of the facility, and also where the front doors are and how to escape, and also, how to leave, not escape. You also see a map of the general area, and everything in the area. It's called Hawkins. And there's a Hawkins Hill, and there's the Hawkins Mall, and Hawkins Observatory, and there's just all of these buildings dedicated to Stephen Hawking.
And I guess I continue where we're supposed to go, sort of forward, to see if there's any sort of game that presents itself here.
Worf,
Sure,
are
yeah.
you okay?
Worf,
What's the matter?
you're running in circles.
spinning.
Oh, sorry. I'm just trying to get it. It's just a little disorienting.
You're like
And
walking
I
into the wall.
I straighten out. Yeah. Newt. Throwback. Anyways, I walk over and I take a look in the test tubes and things like that. I see if there's anything that looks interesting. I start smelling some.
Oh, okay. So you...
Although I don't know if Stephen Hawking wouldn't have used test tubes, but all the same, it's a science stuff also.
Yeah, well, you find like some physics, like instruments,
Okay.
and also like you see there's some futuristic technology, or not futuristic to you, but technology that we haven't seen in our own age there, that is based on of Stephen Hawking's discoveries. And why don't you go ahead and give me a perception roll?
Okay.
And that is connected to your react, I believe. No.
So my react is a 7.
Intelligence.
Okay, my intelligence is a 5.
Okay.
So does that mean do I roll 5 die like Harlan did, or how does that work?
No. So do you have any skills that relate to looking for something?
Unless there's something outdoors, no.
No. Then you will just be taking the 5.
Okay.
So you look around and you find some cool things, but you don't find anything that's really all that interesting. You guys
Can I
can all
grab
do
something?
looks if you're looking.
I grab something that's got some mass to it that I can use as a club. Look, science! And I grab a big metal rock.
Wait, science? Magestro clops over, and I have gadgeteering. Is that applicable?
Is that a skill?
Yeah, I have a
Yep,
3 in
definitely.
gadgeteering.
100%. And what's your intelligence?
My intelligence is 7.
Okay. So do a perception check, and you're rolling 3.
Great, I got
for your
3.
gadget.
So a 3, 3, and a 4, which means 3 points. So I have a 10.
Perfect. So you see that Hammond, what's a Worf, takes some metallic
Wolf.
object. Wolf grabs a metallic object and he starts shaking it and like moving it around and shouting science. And
Science!
you see he's you recognize what it is, and your jaw kind of drops. Like you've seen this in like old science textbooks, that this was a discontinued item, that in the early 100s they had these things and they used them in the late nuclear wars, and they're very, very powerful. Only a few of them were made. This is a black hole gun.
Whoa, Worf, be careful.
What?
Put it down. That is a very, very dangerous weapon.
Oh, shouldn't we use it then?
Do you know about black holes?
Do you?
Well, I know that stuff gets sucked into them and then disappears forever.
Wait,
And
you're
that's-
saying this thing can make black holes, and I drop it and I step back.
It's
And
kinda
you
scary.
drop it. As soon as it hits the ground, it whirs to life. And a blackish purple orb begins to glow in its center where it was just a metal hollow area before. And it begins to pulse.
I think you just armed it.
Is it going to go off? Does it look like it's like it's getting worse, Justin? Did I make it worse?
Yes! It looks like it's getting worse.
Oh no!
LV428. Can you talk to it? Tell it to not.
And LV428 walks over and sort of just looks at it for a second. And can I roll science?
Conversation
Sure, yeah.
robot.
Okay. So it'll be the same
Conversation
roll
robot.
as before, so 5.
Yep.
A 6, a 4, a 3, a 3, and a 2. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And you said 6s count for 2?
6 is count for 2, yep.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 plus my 10 gives me 16.
Nice.
Okay, so You do what you want to do. Describe what you do
So I pick it
based
up
on your knowledge and science.
and sort of look at the object, and with the sort of metallic fingers clacking, I sort of just deprogram it almost, and a little panel pops open, and a little wire pops out, and it shuts again, and the glowing blue light from it begins emitting sort of a soft orange, and I turn and I hand it towards Hammond, and I say, "There you go. Now it should be used as a weapon for us. It could be, I mean."
Yeah.
So I take it from him and I say, "Are you sure I should be holding this?"
Well, it's relatively harmless now. Where originally we would create these black holes, this is projecting positive matter, very similar to a gun, but be careful where you aim it because it will shoot through most things.
So the opposite of black hole. So it creates like a push, some sort of force.
Yes, exactly. And it uses such an immense force that it will, again, pretty much push through anything. They think of a bullet, but an unstoppable bullet. A laser of sorts.
Awesome. I put it on my shoulder.
And I turn to Majesto. Is it Majestro?
Majestra.
And I kind of say, "Don't worry, it doesn't work in organic matter." And then as I sort of start walking away, I sort of stop and say, "Oh, I suppose I'm not organic matter." And he walks back and just says, "Hammond, please make sure you don't point that towards me. It would be very..."
Hey guys, I'm better at melee weapons. That's just part of my character creation. So, anyone good at ranged?
Well, actually, Majestra and I are both quite good at ranged.
What do you have? I got a 4.
I have a level 2.
And I start swinging around. I got a melee of 4.
No. You know what? Actually, I might have jumped the gun on this. Since it only works against creatures of my own type, perhaps I probably should hold on to it.
And swing around and hand it to him.
Take it back. I say.
Take it back. And so who's going to take the gun?
Well, I'll let Majestra have it. I don't think I'm going to be much of a gun user, so I'll say, "Well, here you go." But again, please
What does
remember.
that look like? You mentioned that there's like
It's
a
sort
kind
of-
of...
Yeah, it's this bulbous sort of like, almost like Mega Man. You know how Mega Man's got that like?
Yeah.
It's kind of like that with like a handle on it, and then the end sort of has like this discus layered, almost like a ray gun.
So she slings it over her back and it looks really badass.
Perfect. And as Majestro slings it over her back, LV428.
Why do you find that
LV428.
so hard to remember?
It's not
I
that
don't
hard.
know,
Here's an easy way to remember it. It's one more than LV427.
Woof.
All right. So
Dad
LV428.
joke.
Hey.
You hand the gun over, and as you do, you see just very, very faintly above her head some writing. And as your eyes focus on it, you see the writing come brighter and brighter and brighter. And then there's this levitating text above her head, and it says, "Majestro, level 1."
That's me.
And you look to Hammond and you see the same thing, and you look above yourself, and sure enough, there's a little text that says LV428, level 1. And then something occurs to you. You saw something earlier when you first spawned, and you look back to the spawn point where you guys popped in, and you look at the sign that says Stephen Hawking Memorial Foundation spawn point, and you look at the text underneath. It says level 90 zone.
Ooh. I feel like we're greatly underprepared for this level of difficulty.
Why would the director drop us in to this kind of a PvP area?
Well,
We're not going to have a chance.
he mentioned, and LV428 serves a spark, literally a spark, flicks. Well, perhaps the reason the director said that we would be beneficial in a case like this is because we weren't exactly playing by the same rules as everyone else. And Luke, in his real world, sort of reaches up into the helmet and starts playing with some of the wires that are in there. the avatar sort of just stands there for a second as the two sort of look on confused about what the fuck's going on. And after a long moment, he sort of comes back and says, I think there's a way for us to rewrite certain aspects of the code in the game here. I think we might be able to use some of those backdoor tricks that we had in the dam to maybe give us an edge in a zone like this.
What do you mean?
And,
You're the hacking guy, like.
And LV428 walks over to the wall and says, do you remember when we played Doom and we used the no clipping cheat code and it allowed us to go through walls and utilize secret areas and such? I don't think we could access all of those, but I think at a time, and for a moment, again, LV428 stands there, and then he sort of phases, and for a moment he walks through a solid wall and then comes right back through and rematters himself. I think our avatars can use this like anything else. It's just code. We can hack this just like anything else.
That should even the playing field.
Yes, that means we have an edge, a decided edge against anyone else that's trying to come to us. Magestro, remember that hack that you created for Minesweeper? It was something to do with having unlimited lives. That might be able to work in this world as well.
Do you mean the hack that I had for also Doom, where I had all weapons?
Well, the Minesweeper one could be retrofitted, but yes, it'd be very similar to the one in Doom, yes. I was just trying to include a passion of yours in the way that we went with.
I get it. I'm the Minesweeper one.
Just
It's
extended
fine.
olive branch.
Just an olive branch, that's all.
Awesome. I feel like I got something up my sleeve too. I think let's test this out. Let's go see what we can do. I mean, how hard can it be? And I walk through the nearest doors that
I get shot in the
Just
head.
get shot
Dead.
immediately.
And you hear a shriek.
Close the doors. Yeah. What kind
Okay.
of shriek was it?
Oh, it was like a deathly, strange, adenoidal shriek of death and horror.
Why don't you
Immortal.
clip through the wall and peek rather than go through the, on second thought, the doors might be a bad idea. Why don't you use your skill to see what's out there? So,
That's a great idea. And LV428 sort of accesses his hack again, his no clip, and sort of looks towards what the next room might be.
Perfect. So in the next room, it's actually the main hall leading out to the street. And you see, looking through, a creature behind the glass. And it's a snake, a giant snake, but instead of a snake head, it's the head of a woman with like the torso of a woman. And she's got crazy Richard Simmons hair, and she's smashing on the glass and shrieking loudly.
Okay, and can I roll something on her, like knowledge? Like, is this? I guess it's just game world, right? Can I like figure out
This is
what
just
she might
game
be?
world.
Yeah,
You
so
can figure out what level she is.
okay, let's do that. So I have knowledge, so I'll just do a 1d6 for that, right? Because I have a
Yep.
level 1 in knowledge. So it gives me
Yep.
1 point, and I add that to what? Intelligence?
Intelligence, yeah.
Perfect. So 11 to find out what level she is.
Okay, so you squint and you manage to see above her head a level 88.
Ooh.
Level 88 she snake.
A snake.
A snake.
And I head back into the room and I say,
Snake.
well, it does seem like this is a pretty heavy area. There's a snake outside, and she's a level 88, and I don't think we'd be able to handle her as simple level 1s. Any ideas?
Majestro's been standing still, accessing like user menus in the interface that she's wearing in her helmet, and all of a sudden she's just like heavy with guns.
Huh?
She's like, this might help.
So
This
for you
could
get
help.
like a level 1 carrying capacity, so you're
Yeah.
just
Just like the horse falls down. Just
Okay.
like-
I'm changing Shishnake to Lamia. That's a suggestion by Zia. So we're going with Lamia instead of Shishnake because that sounds
Okay.
a lot better.
I like Shishnake, but okay.
what is the lamia?
It's her name.
Lamia, let's look it up.
Is
Lamia?
a woman sphinx. That's what David John says.
Oh yeah, but with like a snake woman sphinx.
Thank you, David John. Snake lady is Naga.
Naga? Oh, I've got Lamia here. In Google.
It's
working.
Yeah. All right.
Lamia.
Okay. So that's a lot of weapons, Magistro. Ultimately, I think that's going to be very beneficial to us. And I turn.
Can you clip it through the wall and just shoot her from here?
That's great. Here, take the. Oh, what kills a snake lady?
Hey.
Lady.
Damn it, I had a good joke. Never mind.
I'm waiting for it.
I know. What are those like weasels that eat snakes?
Mongooses.
Mongoose.
A mongoose gun. But we're not gonna have that. So that was
I do. That's all done.
All right.
We've got a level 88 snake lady banging on the glass to the Stephen Hawking Memorial Foundation building.
Okay,
science.
I hand LV 428 the laser rifle that I have,
Oh, thank you.
and I say, "No, Worf's right. If you could just clip your hand through the wall and shoot her from here, we don't even have to engage with her. We can just stay in the spawn point."
All right. Let's. Oh wait, the spawn point. That's a good point. You can't be damaged in the spawn point, can you?
That's right. So we can just stay here until we level sufficiently.
It's pretty cheese, as they would say. But I
don't
agree.
care about cheesing.
I don't either, but you know how many people during the spooky stream would complain when I cheesed or something like that? They'd be like, Harlan's being cheesed, he's running back to the save point, no fair. Well, you know what? Fuck you, it's a scary game.
Don't just snipe with that bow and arrow from too far away for them to get aggro on you. That's
me-
not fair.
If they put it in the game, they wanted you to use it. That's all right. IDDQD, I will clip through the wall, and I will shoot the woman, and I will...
Level
back
up.
to the spawn point. Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to decide whether or not I don't think I want you guys to have to roll for like clipping through the wall and stuff like that.
Good.
Like you have to roll to like shoot people and stuff, but clipping through the wall, like, and the physics thing that you've got, Chris, and
That seems like I could
having
overpower
a
that
million
one.
guns. Exactly, but I'm okay with that.
Ooh, so I have a 6 and a 1 for my roll, so 2 points. And
Points?
with dexterity,
Yes.
so 10 to hit.
10 to hit. So normally in a normal combat, you would do initiative, but that is, what did you say it was? What was your
10?
10?
I think so.
Okay, then it hits.
Perfect.
So you fire at this thing and it hits, and you hear it shriek, and you can still hear it smashing on the glass. And you can look to see what its health is if you just, poke your head
Yeah.
through.
Oh, it's
It's
got
still
like a
behind the glass.
health bar.
It has a health bar, yeah.
Nice.
Well, let me try something. And
What's
I
its health
start
at
trying
now?
to code.
It's at 98.75%.
Oh, fuck.
Guys, let me try something. I start to code.
All
I
right.
think if I wait, yeah, and I hit enter, and all of a sudden gravity gets super heavy, and I'm stuck on the floor, just myself. I almost had it. Ugh. Okay, let me try this one more thing. Yeah, and then I open the door and I turn towards the snake and I hit enter on my mask. All of a sudden, gravity reverses and launches the snake into the sky.
Oh my
It
god.
flies up into the air, and you wait. You can still hear the sound.
And I
of it
step back
shrieking.
in and close the door. She'll be back. And
And I say,
whap! I
No, no.
hear her hit the floor.
Oh,
It smashes into the concrete outside of the building, and You can hear the wet, visceral slap of guts and blood against the front window. And you all hear, ding, you have leveled up. 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 And by
Damn it,
the
how
end
does
of it,
this leveling tree work? We got way too many points.
Now we spend 20
minutes.
minutes like putting them into stats. What does poison control do?
I'm allocating already. Like,
Yeah, what's this? I'm gonna max my dex.
don't know if I should go in with
I'm going Dex.
thievery or.
There's something really satisfying in doing that in video games when you have all this.
God, it's
content.
good.
Oh fuck yeah!
Oh,
What-
yeah.
Animal handling, pet talk.
I'm gonna
pet-
be the most powerful.
Yeah.
So by the end, you
language,
are all
what was
each
that one?
level 42.
Nice.
And yeah, your stats go up in the game, but for the purpose of the game, we're just going to keep them as is. So everybody level up 41 levels. And yeah, the front entryway is clear, albeit covered in blood.
Little
Falling
bit of blood,
damage
never
is
heard
the
of it.
worst damage.
It's totally fine. I no clip the area for the blood, and the small bit of weight that it has just sinks through, and then I clip it back on. Gone. Which is a yeah. So I head out to the street.
Okay.
By the way, good one, Worf.
Great one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Fucking great.
Yeah, I definitely redeemed myself after that whole pressed on the floor thing moments before.
Yes. I would imagine that we would have also momentarily like shot up to the ceiling and fallen down. Was that like level
I guess-
wide effect or targeted?
It was Justin.
Well, I want to talk
Technically,
about
it'd be
this
level
now.
wide.
I don't think so. I'm going to impose a limitation on your hacks. So you are able to pick one target, and you can affect the physics of that one target. So you can do it to yourself, you can do it to like one of your teammates, you can do it to a building,
Nice.
but it has to be like one unit of something.
Cool.
So
No,
yeah.
I can't. I can't figure out how to get it beyond just one player. I can affect it, very small attributes.
Cool.
So it's up to you. The door is. Oh wait, you guys went outside, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there like a blinking flag on the map that we saw or
Oh, wait, point.
Yeah.
Yes, Hawkins Hill. There's a little red flag on it that says destination.
Brilliant. And I pull out my map and I read it and then I tab it away and then I continue walking towards it. And I say, man, this is such a fucking cool. Oh, Justin's gone. Man, this is such a cool game.
There we go. And I'm back.
I can't get over these graphics. They're so much more realistic than everything we've played before. It seems like
A lot better than a tablet. That's for
So colorful. It's beautiful.
It's a beautiful morning, you think, and the sun is up. You've never seen the sun before.
The
From
fuck
your-
is it so bright?
Can you guys feel the breeze on your face? That's
what the hell is a
insane.
breeze and a face? I have a robot head.
So you make your way out into the street, and everything is calm, dead calm. And you see down the road a few more of these Lamia people just slithering around in the middle of the road, perfectly spaced apart. And back the other way, you look and you see a hill that is down at the other end of town. You'd have to go maybe 2 kilometers, kilometer and a half to make it there. But in the way, you see a giant fissure going all the way across Hawkins.
Hmm.
I wonder if we should level grind before we go that way.
Well,
I mean,
killing one
we can do-
level 88 ended up doing pretty good for us. Maybe we should kill a few more.
It wasn't too hard either.
No, it wasn't at all. Yes,
Let's
why
take some-
don't we level grind just a bit? I mean, ultimately, whatever is beyond this fissure is going to be very, very difficult to tackle alone, and at a lower level, especially in a level 90 zone, we want to make sure that we are capable at anything that comes in our way.
So
needless to say, Justin, can we just like say that we go by and launch and launch and launch and launch and launch and then walk back?
Yes, but the way I want to do this is that you've killed one. I want to see someone else take out another one.
All right.
Yeah, the system's not letting me put my code back in. It says something about like a time limit. I don't know. I'm gonna try to hack around it for now.
Yeah, you can only do it so many times. Sure.
And I'm going to then look for one that's coming up, and I'm going to. Is there one nearby?
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to walk over, and I'm going to get relatively close to it, and I'm going to get its attention. Hey, you!
It spins its head and hisses at you, its tail rattling.
Show me what you got.
And it lunges forward.
And as it takes a step, I no-clip the ground that it's on, and then I immediately clip it back, so that it gets about halfway up its stomach before before the ground like solidifies.
And it's hissing and it's slashing at you, but it can't move anymore.
And I say, "Brilliant! All right." And I walk over to a large, mailbox, and I push it over, like until it's like right up against the thing, and I no clip it until its arm gets stuck. And over the next like 5 minutes, as the two of them are just watching there, they're just sort of watching there. I've no clipped 2 mailboxes in either of its arms, and it's clipped into the ground until the point where it's basically just ready to be dissected. And I'm like, all right, can I borrow
slowly kill it with a level 1 weapon? For
borrow one of your weapons? Yes. Can I borrow one of your weapons, Magestro?
Yeah, you have the laser gun.
I was thinking something more hack and slash of it, something a bit more guttural,
visceral.
Do you want a scimitar?
Oh, that would be lovely.
Oh, here you go.
And I take it, and Luke sort of over the next 5 minutes just.
This level grind is actually going to take a little bit longer than I thought. Maybe.
But with every hit, it's like bloop, 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 because it's like, you know, rather than just killing it and killing all that. Yeah, it's like critical. And over time, I kill the creature, I guess.
And LV 428 comes back just covered in blood. And robots don't pant. He's not even panting.
Nope.
And you guys all level up another 28 levels. So you're all now level 70.
Nice.
And Magestro, how do you take out your lady?
Magestro gallops to the outskirts of these buildings and aggroes a single Naga towards her with a ranged weapon, and then they have like a really cool like chase, like pursuit through the through this level where she's just like firing back at this snake woman who's like trying to catch up with the galloping centaur. And it's like it's like a chase scene basically. And I'm like throwing grenades behind my shoulder and trying to pick her off with a shotgun.
Perfect.
And eventually kiting. Just
kiting.
To death.
Yeah, kiting her. Thank you.
That's the perfect centaur move.
Yes.
Gun, right? Oh man. Okay. And eventually, the health bar dwindles down to just a sliver, and then the Lamia Naga collapses on the ground. And everybody levels up again to level 74.
Oh, and we loot the bodies.
Yeah, we loot all the bodies.
Okay, perfect. You loot the bodies. I'm going to ask the community. What do they find on the bodies, community?
What's the loot?
Special items.
Snakeskin shoes.
What's
just
the
snakeskin. Why is there so much blood in that snakeskin?
Snake oil. Snake oil. Times
And then you
6.
guys sell snake oil for the rest of your time in game. Scales. Okay, so you guys get lots of scales.
Scales,
You get lots of
fangs.
fangs.
Fangs are super
Fangs, that's
useful.
good.
Stormwind Brie. So
Venom sack.
Magestro, on your character, you find some cheese.
Ooh.
It's really strange. You
Stilton,
go to
Campbell, what are we talking
reach for the body, and you feel like it like the body opens up, and there's like a chest, like a treasure chest, like inside the body, and you open
Like
it.
Fifth Element style?
Is that like Fifth Element?
Yeah,
Oh,
where she pulls
just
the
like-
rocks out of the body.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. So it's like that, and then you open it, and then there's some brie still packaged in there.
Give me that brie.
Yeah, and you
Perfect
think that
temperature, too.
it
Actually,
might be,
snakes are cold-blooded. Snakes are cold-blooded, I take it back.
I think it might give you a buff. Not that you guys really need buffs.
Ooh.
We're already pretty buff, if I do say
I
so myself.
slice it into thirds.
Perfect.
To share.
And yeah, I hand one to each of us, and I hold up my third of brie, and I go to cheers it.
Thanks
Like
for
everyone.
cutting the cheese, April.
It's Magestro.
I can't eat this because I'm a robot, but I'll put it nice carefully.
You just smear it on your face.
Fantastic. This
My
cheese-
R button doesn't work anymore.
Oh, so great.
My R button.
All right.
Oh, your R button.
So
like, what?
all the snakes in this area are dead. The hill stands above you. You can actually see the pumps. There's actually physically water pumps on top of this hill. Connection to the tide gate, no doubt. And you still see that fissure, that big gaping fissure that is blocking your path.
Is it like passable? Can we like actually run it?
You wouldn't be able to jump over it. It's about 20 meters wide.
I could reduce gravity. We could try jumping, but there's a risk.
You have one
No.
target, right?
Yeah, that's true. What if you sent me with a rope or something?
Are there any vehicles around?
Good question.
Can I?
Well, yes, there'd be like a car.
Sorry,
It's like a neighborhood.
You said there's pipes. Is it like Mario pipes?
Pipes?
No, that was in.
Water pipes. Did you say there's water pipes?
Oh, for the water pump station, which is on the hill.
Can we
Let's
get
see, we
in
do
the
that.
car and then you can like target the car for the gravity thing, and we can just fly the car around?
Hey, that's an
That thing?
idea.
Can we do that?
I like
Have you ever
that.
tried to fly a car in like? It's really hard.
I have air vehicle, land vehicle, and space vehicle.
Yeah, she like literally is the
That
pilot.
seems like you're trained for it.
I don't know how you're
guys
gonna
do it.
adjust gravity properly so that we don't smash down to Earth and kill all of us when the gravity turns off. But
I will ease gravity back on, so I'll go from 0, and then I'll do like 1% until we get to the Earth, to the ground.
I think we can make
sounds
that work.
dangerous but very fun.
Maybe not 0. Well, let's try it.
What if we can like? There's a hill, right? So if you reduce gravity when we go off the hill, we can like moon buggy this shit.
Yeah.
Like launch ourselves off and then gently land on the other
And
side.
we could do it like what's it called? Deuce of Hazard style. Land on the other side. And
I'm just really quickly Googling how much gravity is on the moon.
Let's
1.62.
get to that point.
That was if you were paying attention in the Stephen Hawking Memorial, you would have learned this.
it was right on the
It
wall,
was
guys.
right there.
Let's say 1/3, 1/10.
It's like, I mean, 9.8 divided by 1.62 is how much?
You're
why would-
asking the wrong
What a
everything.
random way to say that. Why
People.
would they actually already divide it for us?
Well, I mean,
It's-
how are you going to say this is how light
It's
the
1/6.
gravity is?
It's 1/6 of the gravity on Earth.
Perfect.
1/6 of the gravity. Oh, that's a good way.
Okay,
just-
So Chris, do that math.
I
Okay,
just
so I'm
said
gonna
it's
do
a 6.
1/6. So I type in. It's okay. So now 1/6. I do that, and are we in the car?
You're in the car. You got a Pinto.
Pinto.
How do we hold on? How do we fit the Pinto in the Pinto?
What?
Well,
Sensors
Oh,
are gonna
yeah.
fit in the
the
car,
horse things
even
in
if
the
it's a
back.
hatchback.
It's all right. And LV428 walks over to like a what do you call it? Like a U-Haul.
How do we get the Pinto?
And he starts wheeling it over, and he clips it onto the back of the Pinto, which has a tow hook for some reason, and he helps Magestro into the back of the U-Haul.
Thank you.
It's all right, people. We're in this
Right,
together
yeah.
to get across this fissure. I mean, there's a bridge right there, but I think this might work.
This is going to be way better.
It's going to be so much more interesting, really.
Okay, so what exactly is the plan here? So Chris is going to use his skill.
It's gravity.
We're gonna jump the car and the U-Haul
At moon gravity.
and at moon gravity, and then
Okay.
hopefully, then I will slowly. No, that's it, and we'll land on the other
That's
side.
it. So have you?
It's so simple, Justin.
Distance of the gap.
Jesus,
and the
Justin,
angle
all
that
we're
you
doing is we're doing the simple
Oh.
math.
Okay, I've got a number here. How fast do you need to go to do
If
it?
we've learned anything from Back to the Future, 88 miles per hour.
I am going to roll
That's exactly what I wrote.
science. I'm going to roll science on
Ah,
this.
yes, good.
And I ended up with 1, 2, 3, 4, so a total of 14.
14. You know exactly how fast you need to go.
I mean, I'm a
Land
robot.
on the other side.
That's,
Tell us what it looks like as we go across in slow motion
Yes.
with my
We're not
main
moving in slow
breathing.
motion. We're just going in low gravity. Or are you saying just describe in slow motion?
I want it described in slow motion.
Justin,
In low
hit it for
gravity,
us.
slow motion, in gravity.
Yes.
Slow
Give us-
motion, low gravity.
Give us the
Okay.
full 10.
The Ford Pinto rests completely still as the U-Haul drives towards the. What are you guys going off of?
Ramp.
The natural slope of
Natural
the,
slope
the
of the
train.
fissure that has formed the road upwards. And the U-Haul flies in the air. And if there had been music playing,
There was.
someone turns on the radio. It's that opera song, that song that goes. Oh,
I love that song. That's from Madame Butterfly, I believe.
Is it? So the U-Haul goes, but it goes at a tilt. And you find the U-Haul is rotating in the air in slow motion and in low gravity. And the Centaur is having a very hard time keeping his footing as the U-Haul flips over completely. And a half full bottle of a half full McDonald's cup of Coca-Cola is floating in the air. And as the U-Haul flips over and Coke is flying everywhere in the cabin, as a LV-428 and Worf are sitting there.
Well, I'm a robot again, so I'm like.
And all of a sudden, the speed kicks back in, and the U-Haul rotates. Oh. Maybe I should make you guys roll for this.
What?
Never mind. It reaches the other side with a slam. It collapses on the ground and bounces a little bit more and wobbles to and fro. And there's Coke everywhere in the cabin. The cabin is completely messed up, and you're going to have to pay a deposit.
Oh, man. I step outside the car and I stretch my wings and go, oh, that was horrible.
Wait,
And then I
wait,
look at my
hold
wings
on
and
for a
go,
second. You have
"Son of
wings?
a-"
Why in the God's green? You know what? Let's not worry about it right now. We made lacrosse. Everything is all right in the end. Well done, everyone. And I let Magestro to the U-Haul. And I look towards Hawking Hill. Conveniently named.
Hawkins Hill stands high, proud above the town. And you see some people out front, and they're they have a hand over their heads, and they're pointing and they're shouting down towards you, and you see them run inside the water pump facility and disappear behind a green door.
A water pump facility.
Yeah, that's what's at the top of the hill. It's like a water pump.
That's what the flag is
station.
pointing at?
Yeah, that's what the flag's pointing at. That is the tide gate. That's what digitally controls the
Are they Oompa
gates
Loompas?
in the water reserves. They're not Oompa Loompas. They're regular
Jawas.
people. In fact, the way they act, it did not look like they were just regular NPCs, just like those snake ladies back there.
They're avatars.
They look like they were legit people.
All right. I turn to Hammond and I say, or sorry, what's your
Worf.
name? Worf, my apologies. And I say, Wolf, did you get the impression that those were just regular people or NPCs?
If they're regular, this is a PvP game, so it's very possible those are the player characters.
In which case, we should probably be on our best guard, or on guard, rather. Do you have any thoughts on how we should approach this?
Well, I think they see give us the impression that they were like running back in away from us. They saw us and they're going back in the barricade kind of thing. I don't know. Can I get that much of an impression from their?
They saw you and then they went back into the barricade.
Okay, I think they're standing guard. They have this as their fort, so I would not be surprised if they fortified it with traps, like tower defense style stuff. What do you think?
We did make kind of a spectacle.
Yeah.
What if we take the car and we just drive it right at it and see what happens? Maybe they'll set off some of the traps. Like not us in it. We'll put a brick on the gas pedal.
We might not even need a brick. Perhaps I could just hack the code within the car and let it roll in its own right. Is that fair, Justin?
For no clipping?
Well, I mean, I could no-clip a thing in it to push a thing in it. Fair enough.
You could push it through the wall if it was right up there. But if you pushed it, like, if you no-clipped it and then pushed it straight, it would go into the hill.
Okay. Fair enough. Then I think we should probably just put a brick on the gas and run this bitch into it and see what we can trigger. If there are any traps, if there are any force fields that we can't quite see.
Yeah.
Giant plants with mouths that sing show tunes could be a possibility as well.
Or shoot peas.
Remember, I think about all of your abilities. Actually, yeah, think about all of your abilities. Like, Joe has access to all the guns and stuff.
Ah, that's very true. So
consider that, and I'll be right back.
And consider the lilies. Chris
Consider
is
the
gone.
lilies. They toil not in their striving to be lilies.
It's just you and me, Chris. It's the Chris.
Oh,
and
it's so
Harlan show.
intimate.
Back to how it used to be. Back when it just started, you and me.
Before we even had Justin.
Before
Go
we had
back.
Justin.
Watch our first videos. There's no Justin.
There's no Justin. It's just Chris and Harlan show. We're just hanging around, doing a good time. Oh, never mind. She's back. Everyone shush. Everyone stop talking. It's all
What is this?
nothing.
Nothing. We're just commenting about how great it is to have you here with us.
Thank you.
Ooh. We're thinking maybe we should utilize your arsenal of weapons to really sort of take on this hill. Perhaps, do you have any arsenal weapons? Maybe robots or something that could like be turrets. You know, like sort of
Drone robot thing.
Yeah.
That's a good question.
I think you probably do.
I mean, I have all guns, so
So
Someone a trebuchet, but with like Greek fire. What is Greek fire versus regular fire?
well, you know, it's got, you know, olives and feta
Souvlaki.
cheese and
that sounds good.
it does, doesn't it? Though black olives all the way. Justin's back now, so we can see what's doable. Does
What
she
is
have
doable?
like turrets in her weaponry?
I doubt it somehow.
I don't think turrets, but she's definitely, like, she's been throwing grenades and bombs and stuff like
Maybe
that.
grenade
including,
launchers and
like,
things like that.
Yeah, I could have a grenade launcher.
Yes.
Yep,
Give us
definitely
5
grenade
grenades
launcher.
each. Let's just arsenal ourselves up.
What about that gun that destroys inorganic matter?
The black hole gun?
Because that is inorganic, the building, I imagine.
Hey, yeah, we could
That's
do that.
right.
That is not my idea, I have to say.
Oh.
It was Zia.
Of course it was Zia.
Yeah.
She always knows about black holes.
She's the
Count on her.
smartest of them all.
Count on her. That woman.
That sounded like a weird diss almost. I mean, it was.
Nah, I just mean like she's
I know.
got our back in terms of
You meant it
Theoretical.
absolutely genuinely.
theoretical physics.
It just sounded
Oh,
like a
theoretical
weird
physics.
Holy
yeah.
cow, Greek fire is a
That was-
really cool thing. Neat.
Greek fire.
Greek. Does it have feta cheese?
Tomatoes and black olives and maybe cucumber.
Oh, okay, cool.
He was cool. All right, so let's just shoot the building a few times with that inorganic matter gun.
I
How's
do.
that?
You do. Nice.
Magestro pulls the black hole gun from her back, cocks it, and in the middle of the orb, a glowing black sphere grows, and she shoots it off towards the building.
All right, you fire it at the building, and the orb connects. And what you imagine to happen does not happen. The building itself looks like it might not be affected by this. The orb goes into it, and it's kind of absorbed, and you see the metal on the outside of the water pump facility glow, a glowing orange, and then it just goes back to the regular.
Maybe this game isn't like Red Dead Redemption where everything's destructible. Maybe only certain things.
Red Dead
Yeah.
Redemption doesn't have destruction. What are you talking about?
No.
Red Faction.
Red Faction.
Red Faction.
Another red game.
I was going to say, Red Dead, come on.
Oh, silly.
Right, that's a good point. Perhaps because this is an imperative system, they wouldn't let it be destroyed.
It's like the spawn point or something.
Right.
And at that point, you hear a klaxon go off, and a light appears at the top of the facility going. And you also notice there's a flag there. There's a blue flag that has the logo of Dynatech on top of the water pump. Just a little detail there.
Well, I suppose this is the only way in. And I take a machine gun and some grenades from Magestro, and I say, I suppose we should lock and load. That's how you use these?
All right.
You did
and
good.
what's the music playing when you guys go to attack the building?
No, I want it to be
Shadow
that fucking DJ Shadow track that came out. Yeah.
That's such a fucking good song. Picture this, I'm a bag of dicks, put me to your lips.
Yeah.
I would punch a baby bear in his shit.
Playing.
What's the Trump line?
everything's-
There's a line about Trump.
Yeah, with his own daughter.
Trump fucks his youngest.
Yeah, quicker than Trump fucks his youngest. Such a good song.
DJ who?
It's two guys.
Mountains will
It's,
fall.
uh,
DJ Shadow.
DJ Shadow.
Oh,
Very,
fuck.
very good.
I can put it on.
All
Let's
right.
do it.
Can you broadcast it to the stream?
Before that happens, let's get into this a little bit more. So you guys are approaching this building, and as you approach, you see two turrets rise up. Three turrets, why not? Rise up on the ceiling of the building, and they are the colors of Dynatech. You also see two turrets rise up from the corners of buildings on the other side of the street, looking up the hill, farther from you. So there are 5 turrets in total. You get to the front door, and you see that there is a little code pad on the door, and it's a game that Magestro recognizes.
Minesweeper.
Minesweeper.
Yes!
So you guys have to figure out who's going to be playing online Minesweeper to get in through the door. That's the way to get in. While the others are deflecting bullets and protecting them.
Good
So in
question.
the arsenal of weapons, I picked like this one of those like oversized hammers, like one that physically should not be lifted, but I can.
Like a Final Fantasy
Yeah, something like
14
that.
weapon.
Exactly. So I have this big hammer, and I say, okay, let's give Majesto enough time to sweep. and I run at the nearest.
And now I'll
tower.
play the music, and though we can't
Yeah.
hear it, that's what's going.
Angel of Hammers.
So as I'm running, I realize that these are all just ranged weapons. So the nearest turret, I affect the physics of it so that it slows down. And I just slowly walk and dodge whatever's coming at me. So whatever projectile is coming towards me, I kind of just step around and walk up, and I just want to hammer right into the muzzle of whatever's shooting.
Fantastic. Go ahead and roll. Roll your melee.
My melee. So based on the fact that my melee is 4, what do I roll?
You roll 4d6s, and you're going to add that to your bod.
Okay, so my total is 14.
Okay.
plus my bod, which is 10, so 24.
Oh, no. So 46s. Now, what did you get on the 46s?
On the 46s, I got 5, 4, 1, and 4.
Okay, so the 5 and the 4s count as 1 point.
So 3.
that's 3, and then you add that to your bod. The 1 counts as
13.
nothing. 13. Okay, that is a hit, and you do an extra 3 points of damage.
Cool.
And you walk up slowly, and this is all just against 1, right?
Yep.
Perfect. Now, we get to Magestro. And Magestro, do you want to screen share?
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
On the
Okay,
left-hand
so
side, there's a little screen with an arrow.
That's what you say.
Well,
Am I doing it?
yep.
Yes, you are. Now pull up the
Mind
Sweeper.
There you go.
Okay. So,
Awesome.
on your turn, you get 4 moves.
Okay.
4 moves
1.
to try to open this door. Okay.
Good move. Good move.
Good move.
2.
And you can flag freely.
Oh, okay. 2. Oh, shit.
4
3.
moves. This
Fuck.
take a long time.
This is
For real, dude?
You can keep going.
Why
You
four?
You can
Four.
also
Why don't we just have her keep
That's
going?
4.
Yeah, why don't you
Yeah,
give her
keep
like
going.
a minute to
Keep
solve
going.
it?
Yeah, give me a fucking minute.
Do it based on time instead of moves, because there's
Okay,
a time
30
limit.
seconds. 30
30
seconds.
seconds?
Well,
Yeah.
Oh god.
30 seconds more. You mean, right? Like a
Yeah,
minute.
30 more seconds.
Starting. It's not enough time. It's not enough
Not
time.
enough time.
You guys are going to have to hold
Well,
them
no,
off.
you've got a full minute for your turn, and then we're going to move on to the next turn.
15 seconds.
Did you hear me?
10
It's
seconds.
It's not a timed. It's not a timed
What?
thing.
9 seconds.
I think it's a time
Look at how
thing.
you're running out of time. No matter what the
Time
GM
now. All right, that's all you're able to get in for your turn. So just let it go.
So does
the
And
time
we're
thing.
on the clock for a
How
bit.
do I unscreen share?
Top.
It'll
red.
say it along the top in that green bar.
Did I
There
do
you go.
it?
Yeah.
Yes.
You got it. Okay, next we're back to a
LV
428.
So I reloaded and I lean up over the wall and I go firing at them again. At the turrets.
What are you firing again?
Pistols.
Pistols. Okay.
Or the antimatter gun instead.
The antimatter gun. I think Magestro has
Right,
that.
then I fire pistols. 5, so 2 points plus, so 10 to hit again. So same thing. I guess.
10 to hit total.
Yeah.
Okay. So they hit, but your bullets ricochet off of the guns.
What?
And
I
10 to
did
hit.
the
You got
same,
13,
I rolled the same
right?
thing last time. Oh,
Oh, I know.
did I? No, I didn't.
I think you rolled a 13 last time, didn't you?
I don't think so.
Was it 10?
Pretty sure.
Back. I know what I did. Okay.
So I don't hit them?
No, you do hit them.
Oh, good.
So it's the same ones you're attacking again?
Yeah, the same 3.
Okay.
And I'm I'm trying to hold them off quickly on that minesweeper there. And again, pieces of the metal and shrapnel of the turrets go flicking off with the ding. Are they all still
That's right.
standing?
They're all still standing. So you've done 2 to 3 of them. 2 damage to 3.
Bastards.
And now we are going to the turrets again. They are still firing at you, those 3 that you're attacking.
Typical.
Ooh. And 6. Okay, so 2, 4. So you take 2 points of damage. Yeah.
All right.
Wait,
so
what
I'm
is
taking-
your? Yeah, you take 2 points of damage.
So I've taken 5 so far. What am I taking the damage off of?
Your HP.
Your HP.
Oh, perfect. Okay, so I have 4 left.
And then 2 are going to be firing. One's going to fire at Chris. And is an 8 enough to hit your react?
Yes, and 7.
Okay. So you take 1 point of damage.
Okay.
And the other one is going to attack. Oh, okay. Is a 9 enough to hit your attack, Joe? Or your react, rather.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so you take. How much is your react?
7.
7. Okay, so you take 2 points of damage.
All right.
Technically, you guys should have more health than you have, but I'm just scaling it up.
Yeah,
Good.
Or them down, or whatever.
we
All
trust
right,
you.
we are back to Joe.
Yeah, we are.
Wait, no, we're not. Sorry, we're back at
Oh.
Chris.
Sorry, I got excited.
Yeah, we are.
Got too excited.
So the first time I hit the muzzle, I could see it dented in. And so what I'm going to do is keep hitting it. I'm going to actually try to angle it towards the other turret. So I'm actually going to keep whacking it and hammering it and try to bend the muzzle towards the muzzle. Is that the right word?
Sure.
Sure, the muzzle of the gun, yeah.
Yeah, the barrel of the gun. That's probably more accurate.
Barrel.
Towards the other turret.
Okay.
Whacking, going crazy.
All right,
Just
do
crazy.
your roll, your strength.
I got 1 6 and 3 1s.
Okay,
So that's
so
1 point plus my strength is 11.
it's 2 points actually. So you got 12 against 7. So you destroy this turret. It doesn't actually have a chance to attack the other one, unfortunately.
Nice.
I think it does. No. Okay. I'm gonna mute myself now because I can hear all the fun that's going on in the other room.
All right.
Now it's you, Joe.
Justin's frozen, unfortunately.
Oh, that was so awkward. I thought he just like.
I thought he just went quiet. He was mad at us. All right, Joe, pull
Yeah.
Minesweeper. Show us how this
I'm
thing's
gonna do
solved.
it. Get ready.
Born ready.
Good.
It's me. I know that guy.
That's you. All right, here we go. I don't know how long I get to do this for. but
Until he comes
technically-
back. Go quick.
Hooray! Hooray! Oh boy.
Pressure.
Yeah, no kidding. This is a game where you usually want to just spend some time, like thinking about it.
What you do is you copy the URL in another tab, and then you fail, and it'll show you where all the bombs are.
I'm not gonna do no because I'm sure it randomly
Hold on,
generates.
if this is a game, you're probably right.
That's pretty smart.
I think it randomly generates.
Yeah, probably, but that's still a pretty good idea if it wasn't the case. Justin said his
Be
computer
either
crashed.
one of these squares. Yeah, that's fine. We'll just keep playing Minecraft for a little bit.
This is the best stream
So
ever.
this
Let's-
so
is
ironic.
okay, so this is a 2. This is the only other one that I
He said it's 4 turrets left. So while she's doing that, let's multi-class. So I run over to Hammond and I jump down next to him and I say, "All right, Hammond, you and me both." And we go back to back and stand up and I start firing at the other 3.
And I have a hammer, so I'm swinging without reach.
Well, the turrets are coming at you. And,
Oh, okay.
And Joe's still working away on that.
And
So I'm
as
gonna
Do you
they
look
want
up.
me to stop screen sharing?
No, keep doing it. I'm going
Alright.
between you and us. We're bouncing
Great.
between it.
Good.
So I rolled
Okay.
2 and a 6, so I got 10. I know that hits, and I that means I shoot 3. So I'm going to say they're destroyed. Chris?
By the power of Thor, I throw my hammer at them, at the turret. And
I'll
they
throw my
respond
hammer
to
at
me.
you.
My hammer. Thor's, yeah. Okay, and then I throw my dice, which means that I get. Does a 3
2.
get me anything?
Yeah, 2 additional points you have.
Oh, okay.
One's
so
a
in that
nothing, 2
case,
and 3 or something.
so 12.
Nice. And I know that hits because you said 10 was the threshold.
And so imagine we destroy another turret.
Fuck yeah. And you said there were only 4, and that's all of them. So then as the bullets are still flying because more turrets are coming over the crest of the nearby hill, we run over to Majestra and sort of lean against the wall, and we're like, "Oh, Majestra, how's that?
Shut up!
What? Well, that's just rude. I was just
I'm sweeping for mines!
my God. One wrong move and this entire panel will explode. And we're just like firing off in the distance over your head and like over the corners and
And I
stuff
keep
like that.
yelling, curling slogans that are "Sweep hard!"
And I'm just thinking, this is like that part in Return of the Jedi.
Jedi, I'm saying that myself.
When they're like firing and like trying to hack the panel, and
We need.
hopefully
new walls.
stormtroopers don't walk out once the doors open and catch us. As part of some intricate plan laid out by Darth Vader. And we're firing, and you're almost done.
Yeah, dude, but I'm stuck.
It's okay. That's a
What?
2. That's a flag. It's got to be a flag.
This one?
I don't know.
I was gonna say
Hold
the
on,
one
let's
kitty
just
corner
make it
to the flag by the 2 2s on the corner.
3.
Well, that's not very specific.
Well, you know how it is.
Okay, so this
That
one?
That one. That's got to be.
You think this has got to be one?
I don't know. I think the one maybe beside
Because
it.
this could be one.
Or the one
yeah,
above
but
it.
the one above the 2.
There's a lot of 2s, Harlan.
I know, but I don't know.
This is the
Okay,
problem
so
with this game.
This 3 already has 2 flags. It could have any one of these guys.
I know. Click the top right-hand corner just out of the blue.
Do it.
Maybe that'll give us
Do
that'll
it.
help us. Don't do
Do
that.
it.
Don't do it. That'll be the
Do
worst
it.
decision.
I'm gonna do it.
Do
That's the
it.
worst decision. Unless
Yeah.
it's a 3. Not helping.
So fantastic.
Oh,
Now I'm gonna do this one now.
Oh, and Justin's
oh
back.
yeah. Do it. Do it. Do it.
We've killed all the turrets.
Oh, I like this game.
Nice.
We've killed all the turrets,
Russian
and we're just
roulette.
doing the Minesweeper challenge.
Now what?
Oh my
But we're not
god.
doing them by skill. We're doing
I think the bottom one. I think that's got to be one.
I only have 8 mines left.
Okay, so your odds are pretty good. You're not gonna get one. So
That's-
doing you a favor.
So there's only one around this guy, so this is a pretty good bet.
Do it.
It's a 1 in 5.
You got 1 in 5.
chance.
Do it.
I'm touching this one, okay?
Do it.
Oh, yes.
That's
But
not
that's
good
not
though.
helpful.
I think
though.
this inside track is not helping us. I think we gotta,
No,
we gotta take
go
some.
for the outside.
This one?
Do it.
That's not outside enough.
You wanna go this one?
That one.
Oh, yeah, one of those two.
That's a 1 in
50-50.
3.
That
It's a
one.
50-50 shot.
Do it.
No, that's a 1 in 3.
Do it.
No, because that 2 is touching one other bomb, so it's 50-50. One of those 2 is a bomb.
It's because the 1.
Oh yeah, it's 50-50.
So this is a better shot actually.
She's right. Do it, Joe.
Oh!
Oh, yeah. There
So
we
it's
go.
this one. Awesome.
No.
Oh,
Yes.
You know that.
Oh, yeah.
Do we know that?
She mathed it out.
Oh, nice. Okay. Whew, that was probably the most intense we've
That's
ever
a
seen
3.
anything
Yeah,
on
there
the
you go.
stream.
Guys.
4. The most extreme encounter we've ever had.
That's your 1.
Do 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 do. Who knows what that is?
No.
This guy. One of these 2.
Yeah.
This guy has to have 2
That's the
though.
corner, so 2.
it's
Yeah,
that
there
one.
you go. You're good.
This guy, 1, 2, 3.
That's it. That
1,
means
2, 3.
the one above
And
the
that-
3 is the safe one.
Oh,
1,
good.
2, 3.
Yeah.
That guy has 1, 2, so that's 3, and this one's empty.
Yep.
We should have won.
Guys,
Good job.
this is the best game ever.
Because you guys played the
Yeah.
Wow.
The
Now we know
door
how to impress
slides.
Joe. Just get her in Minesweeper.
The
All right,
door
this
slides
week in
open
D&D.
with a satisfying whoosh. And there before you is a very clean, clinically clean room. And 3 people stand before you. They're wearing the blue and white slash clothing of Dynatech. And one of them's holding a katana, one of them's holding an Uzi, and the other one's got a giant blade on his back, not unlike the hammer that Worf is carrying.
And I no-clip the floor beneath all 3 of them.
And then the middle one, I create a huge amount of gravity on the one's head. And so
Ooh.
implodes into his shoulders, the blood everywhere.
And it explodes.
I think
they don't even have a
between-
second to
Yeah.
talk.
Between all that, they just
I
all
know.
sink through and explode.
So
We're
we
the
didn't
innocent. Yeah, they're probably innocent and stuff.
Well, you know, they had weapons drawn. I don't think it was. I think it was probably a final match. I don't think it was
We
a
don't get
conversation.
any like exposition though.
But we do get exposition.
And you guys level up. They were level 99. So you level up and to level 78.
Good job.
I feel like this is just arbitrary at this point. I don't feel
No, I
accomplished.
got a complicated chart here, and I got a focus group on it.
All right.
Um,
And then we head into the facility to try to find out how we can access the water.
Perfect. There is a terminal right behind where the pool of blood is now, and the terminal is flashing a green light.
And I turn to the others and I say, well, this looks like where we're at. And I reach out and hold my hand above, waiting for all 3 of our hands to touch it together.
And
Majestra puts a hoof.
yeah, and where are you putting it? On a button?
A button? I don't know. I thought you said there was like a green
There's
button.
a button.
There's a light flashing green.
We all
and you
put our things on the light and then
just
realize
touch the
there's
light.
not a button.
Just keep touching it.
Okay, so eventually you do touch a button.
So there is a button.
Activates
We touch enough stuff
activates-
that eventually one button.
the terminal. I'm just gonna give you a nat 20.
Yes.
Button
and
touching, natural
you-
20.
You see the screen that pops up. It says, "Congratulations on unlocking Tide Gate 2.4. Dynatech has already got this under their control. Would you like to seize control of it?"
Yes, please.
And as you're about to hit yes, you see a list of the mega corporations. There's a list of all of the mega corporations, including your own, which is called Wolfram Omega, pardon me.
Yes.
But you also see 9 others. Dynatech, of course. You see K&B Consulting. You see the 3 Shells Incorporated. You see Red Profit Solutions, Taco Bell, Reprocuria Systems, Think with a C, Smith, and Chow and Sons, and Karmaceuticals Unlimited. All 10 of the North American mega corporations. And what you see kind of blows you away. Dynatech has had control of this Tide Gate, but all of the numbers are 10. 10% going to Wolfram Omega, 10% going to K&B Consulting, 10% to Taco Bell, and so on and so forth. They had split the water from this facility completely equally between all of the corporations.
And yet,
And now-
Wolfram Omega wants to seize entire control.
But we would be killing if we take entire control, even though our facility would be, forever provided. We would be killing possibly all these other ones.
We can't do that.
It's not right.
It's not.
It's not. We don't even know these other people.
There could be hundreds and thousands of grandmamas.
Oh god.
No, there's only one grandma.
One can't even sacrifice. We can't sacrifice one grandmama. Well,
Leave the water. I mean, we'd have the control, and then we could trade the water to the other people, and we could rule them and make sure that they're living in a moral way. I think shouldn't we have the power?
no.
Look at the system, how it's broken. We have a chance here to be in control of the system.
This system seems fair. Equal distribution. It's what I love about communism. I think ultimately what we need to do is confront Wolfram Omega about this decision that they've made and hack into them and destroy them from the inside.
And then find a way to synthesize water from bare organics.
Bears. Squeeze a bear. Bear organics.
And with that, the 3 of them made their decision, and another story happened eventually someday.
Did you just end it for us? Okay.
Weirdness to be continued.
Well,
To
I
be
thought that was an ending there. That felt
Yeah.
ending.
Fair enough. Good job. Very well done. I mean, very well done, Justin. I mean, my accent.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Coders, the hacking, sort of Matrixy Ready Player One inspired game done by our very handsome Mr. Justin Thomas James. I hope you guys enjoyed. I had a blast.
I did.
Me too.
That Minesweeper was intense.
So
It was.
intense.
Dude, that was my favorite part.
Yeah, well, 'cause you got to play Minesweeper. If there's a Minecraft section on a game, I'm gonna have the best time too. Someone write a game, please, with that included.
Hey, I'll do it.
Do it.
Don't
Not just
tempt me.
Minecraft, but like something else that I can play. Just something else as well. Like just so many games included. Anytime we can mixed media that way.
You're jealous.
I'm very
You didn't get to
jealous.
play Minecraft.
Super jealous. Of course I
Minecraft,
am.
and I would just be trying to find you guys for the whole game. It'd be fun.
Yeah, you
I
would
would
be.
die before I sleep in the bed.
I was saying
I
that.
rage quit.
I was saying that. That's how you are. You're like, guys, I'm lost. We're like, oh, Chris, it's okay. Just
I
come
didn't
to-
make a bed yet, guys.
It's
Oh,
always
I'm dead.
It's so satisfying because he's like, oh, I think I found something, and then it'll just pop up on the screen like Howlet died by lava. You're like, and he's like, oh, guys. We're like, oh, where are you again? Can I come to the spawn point? It's like, Chris, it's so far away. He's like, that's okay, guys. I think I see you. Howlet drowned or something like that.
I still remember the time where he actually did come back to the base, and we had this big waterfall that
Yeah.
led up into our like high castle. And he's like, "I'm gonna swim up the water."
No, sleep in the bed first. Sleep in the bed. Make a bed. No, it's fine. It's
Gets to
fine.
the top, and he slips out the side and crashes. Oh god!
It's a hard game, guys. It's
thing-
really hard.
What sells it is your like, oh bother mentality, like almost like Winnie the Pooh, because you're not pissed off. You're like, oh bother. You just like fall and like I have to start again and all of this shit. And we're like, well, we're just gonna keep mining diamonds, and by the time you come back, we're like have a full suit of diamond armor for you, and you're like,
I'm
here,
still
just put this on.
iron.
Howlet
You-
lost
at that
diamond armor.
point, you gotta just start a new life.
That's what we do every time. We've many a game has been like, all right, Chris,
Let's just create a new world. Let's create a new
just
world.
start again, yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. This has been such a blast, as we do Endgame XP. Who shall we give it to? There's a few new people tonight.
Yeah, I feel like I said David Jones' name so many times though. Like, oh shit,
But he-
this guy.
One mid game.
But he could do it again.
Indeed.
Should we?
No, it's up to you.
Well, if you deserve it, you deserve it. I'm not too
Who,
worried.
who else has a vote?
Lots of people said this. Sam Gino is a new person,
Yes.
and they were pretty talkative. We could give it to them.
Sangino.
Also, Savage Chief. Are they new?
They're new also.
Yeah,
I was looking at Savage Chief.
Chief?
Savage Chief. Glad I joined for the live stream finally.
Hey, you
Been
know
trying
what?
to catch up on past content.
That's enough. That's enough of a sell for me. Savage Chief, you win Endgame XP.
Hey!
Just let us know
Who
your
are you
real
on
name.
the Facebook group? Savage Chief. So I
Yeah,
can
what's
add
your
you.
name, Savage?
What's your real name? What is
Unless
your
that
favorite
is it.
color? And what
Chief
is your
Savage.
quest? To seek the Holy Grail. Yes. Thank you so much for hanging out tonight. This has been such a blast. Savage Chief, let us know your real name. We will be back next week with more awesome streaming stuff. I don't know what we're doing next week yet.
Just
we know?
Minecraft.
Just
Yeah.
Minecraft. Just Chris and I
play-
playing Minecraft. I'm down for that.
We'll role play the whole time.
Just role play Minecraft, the game. I hope you guys have a fantastic evening, a fantastic weekend. And as my friend Chris always likes to say,
We'll see you around the table.
we will see you around the table, guys. Good night.
Good night!